Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Now, what y'all wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers.
I'm not good at this like that. I'm not like a.
We've been doing it for the last
Well,
like 20
we-
minutes.
I'm not a talking guy. You know, like.
Well, we don't really like to do like we're here today with like we just kind of
Yeah.
talk and then
Yeah.
once the conversation kind of naturally starts flowing, that's usually where we cut it in, sort of thing. And
Yeah.
And then if there's like moments that it don't work out, we just stop or we just keep rolling and then you cut those out.
just keep rolling is
Yeah.
basically it.
Yeah. Do you cut out stuff that doesn't
I
work
don't
out?
think we've
or-
ever cut anything.
Very, very little.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like
There was one point, it's actually funny because so there was actually one episode where we like how do I describe this?
phones off.
It was almost funny for me to think about because what we did was, can you pull that table like 3 inches closer to you? But that way from that.
Like that.
Okay, I'll just.
There you go. Sometimes it's better if you do it yourself. You know?
Yeah, there's a life lesson. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I went to cut some audio just because like the conversation, it was sort of weird where like someone came back from the bathroom and we were sort of like laughing and it took a while to get going. So I kind of like just cut out this one section.
Right.
But the way I timed it, like you didn't hear a cut. Like it actually flowed well with the conversation.
Which episode was this?
It was with Dylan. But it was almost like
okay.
it was almost like freaky where I listened to it after. I'm like, wow, how much can you like manipulate things to like make
Oh, we
people
cut-
sound a certain way, right? And
We cut out like lots of questions. Sometimes people go on. One person started talking about breastfeeding on set when where they're working, whatever, and they're telling a true story. But we just thought it was just too long for that, so we ended up cutting it, and it just
Yeah.
like flows.
Yeah.
People cut so much shit. It's like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like
were you not doing that show recently though?
Which one?
12 TV? Or have you kind of?
Last one I did was in March.
okay.
So
Oh, okay.
I've been
a
meaning
while ago.
to get back to it.
Yeah.
I mean to do a lot of things. And then
yeah.
we get busy and new projects come and play and things
Yeah.
happen. We're having a baby right away too. So
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah, Tom was saying.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that like any day now or?
I think after this week they say any down, but it's 3 weeks
Yeah.
away.
Okay.
Yeah, about
Nice.
about 3 weeks away, 2.5, 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
But my friend just had her baby like a week early, so yeah,
Be
I'd be
semi-prepared, I guess.
prepared. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
congrats, man.
So-
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's so like what was the goal with that TV show, just to spotlight like other self-employed kind of people, or what was?
I don't know. I was thinking
Yeah.
I want to talk about business. Are we on or not on? Or
We're
We
on.
could be,
we're
we
on?
couldn't be.
Okay,
It's
so
we might not be.
are you rolling though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the 12 TV was just like I wanted to just spotlight business branding and marketing and get insight from other people in
Yeah.
the industry or other people in
Mhm.
Edmonton or elsewhere that were doing something cool and building business, right? So we have some people we have on the list that's coming up that we haven't really booked yet, but
Mhm.
have in talks with already. So I'm looking to kind of bring that back
Yeah.
for sure, while launching a podcast for more of a casual conversation, kind of like what you guys have,
Nice.
Mhm.
unscripted, no questions, just like good conversation, and
Mhm.
good stories, and just get the highlights of what they're
Yeah.
their journey, right?
Yeah,
Where the
absolutely.
other one is a little more business and marketing focused. So
Mhm.
if someone was looking to get some good takeaways of what they could take to their own personal brand or their business,
Mhm.
that's the one you would dive more into.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really like what you're doing with the Edmonton stuff. Like you just really focus on the Edmonton
Yeah.
people and like get those
Yeah.
businesses out there, and it's really cool to see.
If we rewind back to 2015, we launched, my partners and I, for this. It's called yegpeople.com.
I was
Okay.
actually going to ask you about that because I was looking
Yeah.
at our old. I asked for your number again, but I still had it. I was looking at our old messages because I actually asked you. I was looking at that site and there was like a specific photographer that I really liked his stuff, so like I asked
okay.
him for it. So
Nicholas, right?
yeah. But then I forgot about that website altogether. But I
Uh,
kind of looked back at it. It was pretty
Nice.
cool. But
So we put that together in 15. I wanted to spotlight people in Edmonton and
Yeah.
their stories, from community leaders to entrepreneurs
Mhm.
to anybody just doing good in our city, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thought process around that. And we picked up some good steam, had a launch party, built up 10K followers that year
Oh,
on
wow.
Instagram.
Nice.
And then life kind of got busy, and
Yeah.
our businesses got busy, and my partners are a lawyer and engineer, and they got busy in their work and in professional life, and things happen. And we kept thinking that we'd go back into it, but only when we can roll out enough at the same time.
Yeah.
It was a side project that again we want to kick up, and
Yeah.
a lot of people still ask me about it. We still get email subscribers almost daily for
Nice.
it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Huh. About every couple days or so.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think people are still looking for that. But
That's really cool.
what I liked about that was that stories were kind of timeless. We made them about the person, not about what
What's going on
Yeah,
today or
what's going on
whatever, yeah.
today.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
the hottest restaurant in town or whatever that may
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
That
So-
might be close today. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
We wanted to, we wanted to just have something so it could always be there. You
Nice.
know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I think we were saying just before we started recording, like, the nice part about this and your 12 TV and, like, whatever is, like, it's kind of there forever, right? Like, stuff you put on the internet is there
Yeah, it's out there.
forever.
Yeah.
For good or for better or for worse.
Yeah,
for worse.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, I don't know. Like, you're kind of preserving yourself in a way there. And in theory, like, because if we just sat here and talk about current events too much, like,
Yeah.
that also dates it too, right?
Right.
So
Even a couple months
Yeah.
down the road, it's like,
Yeah.
that's not applicable anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like,
that's
did
really
you ever
cool.
think you'd have your own show?
no,
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 not really.
no, and then
Even like a few years ago, no, right?
No,
absolutely not. So
Yeah.
and then even like a few months ago, like I don't know, I was kind of trying to think. Like, there's obviously like podcasting is a trend, and like it's good to try. I think we're a touch ahead of the 8 ball on that one, but there are other local people who were first to the punch, and like that, if anything, I mean, you inspired us, right? But then also I would say it made me realize it was like possible, or there was some level of demand for it, where like, yeah, people like to listen to it and or watch this type of show, but like they also, there's a market for like it being more hyper local as well,
Right.
Which
Right.
is
Like Edmonton centric.
yeah, which is sort of what we're trying to do, or where we kind of are at the moment, right?
I mean, we use orange a lot, so.
yeah.
There's another podcast called the City of Champions podcast. You've seen that?
No, I haven't
Yeah,
actually.
and
Okay.
it's interviewing people in Edmonton as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think more. Actually, no. I was gonna say business sense, but it's a little bit of everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good ones out there, and being city focused is nice. You get a niche,
That's cool.
Yeah.
niche following there.
Yeah. I mean, there's us. There's you've heard Second Floor.
Yes.
Yeah, Second Floor
Yeah.
as well. We went to school
They
with
do
those
some
guys.
good
Oh,
stuff,
cool.
Yeah, Mikua.
Yeah. Josh more so knows them than me, but
A little
yeah.
bit. I think it was because of the business faculty or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You were in business too, so.
Yeah, but I also was like classic. Sorry, let me write this down before I forget it.
All good.
But what I like about this is that it's not that you have to be, in front of the curve or behind the curve, whatever. It's never too late.
No, 100%.
And the more people doing it, it just brings more awareness to just media and marketing in general.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting, and tell a lot of my clients this, is we live in a time where we can just roll out our own TV show literally like right now.
Mhm.
Press and record and create
Yeah,
a show.
100%.
And then put it out to the world. Where 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it'd be like a 100K budget,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
it would
be super
massive
limited.
media spend. We're looking at, a few
Yeah.
hundred K just to get,
Well-
now it's done by 20 minutes from now,
Yeah.
100%.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even I was thinking, I said this to Josh because like we made a few Wayne's World references in our earlier episodes, which is why I have the DVD
Oh, right.
sitting there as a little
Nice.
little Easter egg for people.
Yeah.
But I literally one day I was like, Josh, we're literally Wayne's World. And he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, think about it, because they're like doing like their own show. It's on like public access cable or whatever,
Yeah.
and like just
From-
talking about
from his
people
basement.
from his basement, talking to random local people, and or not random, but even so. And then it's like, well, what is the 2019 version of public access cable? Well, I guess it's YouTube, Facebook, etc.
Yeah,
right?
for
So
sure.
yeah, and there's virtually no barriers, right?
No
So,
barriers. Yeah.
No.
We had there's a niche for anything. Anything
Yeah.
you want to create, there's someone who's going to want to follow that too,
So
right?
true. Yeah.
We had a
Easily
question in the
imagined.
office. So why the Long and Hard podcast as a name?
We're getting
Right?
interviewed.
People
on
are like,
podcast.
Eric, what are you going on? I'm going on a long and hard podcast. Like, whoa, what is this? Like, whoa, what's going on here? So,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's
what's
provocative.
the backstory
It
here?
gets the people going.
Yeah. Oh man, we actually just got asked about this the other day, so it's funny.
We did.
It's actually it's almost a good story in that there's not a huge story to it. Like it was very similar to not to compare ourselves to Steve Jobs, but you know how like Steve Jobs was like, hey, if you don't come up with a name by the end of the day, like I'm just calling this company Apple. It was
Right.
like, so I kind of proposed Josh, or proposed my idea for a show to him, and then, because our intent was more entrepreneurship very specific focus at the start.
It was,
and then
yeah.
it kind of evolved, which is good. But I'm like, okay, we'll talk about this, and like, you know, like I don't want people to think we're taking ourselves too seriously at the same time. So I want it to be like a metaphor for life, but also kind of funny. Maybe like a phallic reference, like long and hard or something. I don't know. And then we had like pages and pages and pages of brainstorming going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where I'm like, you know what, man? Like, let's just call it long and hard. Like, he's like, okay.
Because I think we called
iTunes accepts the name. It's all good.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
problems.
good with it. All good with it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think we even introduced the first episode by a different name too, and it was
Right.
Yeah.
Things can evolve, right? And maybe you
Absolutely.
niche down later on
Yeah.
or whatever that may be.
So,
Yeah.
so I know it's kind of goofy, but like, to me now I'm just used to the name A. Excuse me. And we get a few decent amount of compliments. Like, it kind of sticks out, right? Like, so, I don't know.
part of me also when I was reading it before, or looking at it before, like maybe it's a term in terms of like you guys are hard workers, entrepreneurs, like the hustle too. You know,
Yeah.
you have to go
Yeah.
long hard and everything. You know, that's a model for life in a sense.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought.
there's
right?
multiple-
That was it.
there's
It
multiple
was
ways to
kinda
look at
like
it, right?
works in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
multiple innuendos within
Oh,
it.
for sure. Yeah, good and bad, I guess, right? So yeah. So that's kind of where it was, and then
Yeah. So
What's a game plan for it? Like long run, just keep it going, conversation.
keep it going, see
Yeah.
what happens. Is kind of our mantra, right?
episode
Like,
a week, pretty much
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah. I mean, we
I love the consistency. A lot of people do
See,
this and
that's-
drop off and do this
Ye-
drop off. Yeah.
that's our thing, and like I remember actually it was funny right around the time we were starting a different entrepreneur podcast, quite a bit larger, that we follow, happened to be discussing something similar at the same time, right? And they're talking about podcasts and like only X% make it past 5 episodes, and some don't even record their first episode or something like that, right? So I don't know. I like to think we're kind of the type who will like we know like some in life, in business, whatever, it's going to be a grind. Like it's not going to be a hit from day one usually, right? Or
It's mostly showing up for the first year.
100.
Yeah,
right?
I hear
And then-
100, 150.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people say,
Yeah,
yeah, like
And just
Lewis Howell
kinda-
says like hundreds, you know.
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
maybe,
School
you
of
know.
Greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good podcast.
yeah.
So yeah.
So I don't know, just kind of, and we've always been the type who's willing to like just do it, take the action, and consistently do it. I like to think, right? So
Long and hard.
Yeah,
You as well.
exactly, right? So, and I don't know, like I enjoy it. We get quite a bit out of it.
To be
It's fun.
honest,
Yeah.
like even if it goes nowhere, the conversations that we have
yeah,
grow us as people.
yeah,
And that's kind of how I look at it.
yeah.
That-
We had.
I never thought it'd be in your basement, but here
Yeah,
we are.
exactly, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll find some studio space, but I mean, there's
like
also
the
a lesson
basement
there in that
It's not bad. It's
No,
not
it's
bad
not.
at all.
And then,
Character.
Yeah.
like bootstrapping it a little bit too, where like, okay, it's not perfect, but it doesn't really cost anything to be here, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think the statistic is like for every, or is it 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 13? I think
Oh,
it's
is
the
that the number?
statistic.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay,
the
yeah, yeah.
statistic. So it's,
huh?
we're on episode, I don't know, 20, 21 maybe?
Like this week by the time this is released, we'll probably be on like 23ish or so, right?
So there you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
we
So-
made it.
You made it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, we're getting to like half a year when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is kind of wild because it feels like we like just started doing this too. So yeah. And then I don't know. I'm always like, when I kind of get going about it, I'm like imagine if we do it for like 2 years straight, like what it could whatever become.
100%.
Or nothing. It could just be like a whatever show, and it's like, it gives us something to do every
yeah.
Monday night. So
Then you'll have 100 episodes down, and it'll be nice.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, it's just cool to have,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
I'll be unemployable everywhere.
yeah, exactly. Good thing we're self-employed.
Awesome. Well, I like what you guys are up to. It's good.
Yeah, it's-
Thank you.
it's not
Even
bad.
when you first posted, like, oh, these guys are doing something different, you know, and I
Yeah.
comment on it or whatever. And like,
Yeah, no, like you did.
Yeah.
You reached out, and I really appreciate that for sure. So,
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what about? Yeah. Oh shit, totally lost my train of thought there for a minute. But,
sometimes
Do you want
happens.
me to continue to interview you guys? Or?
no, it's funny how you turn that around. Oh, I was gonna say because last week we had 2 people on, we had 3. We did 3 last week just to like kind of get ahead of schedule, sort of thing. And 2 of them were like, well, I mean, I always come out of the conversation with something, but 2 of them were very intense people. One was like a very intense guy in terms of like his like work ethic for work, and one was like had done like bodybuilding stuff in the past. So like just kind of hearing their mindset on a lot of things and the take on it, I come out of it and I'm like, oh my god, I need to like kick my own ass and like really go to
Right.
the gym here and to like wake up earlier tomorrow and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know, and I get something out of it at the bare minimum. So
Yeah. Dare we say inspiration or whatever?
yeah,
it may
which
be.
is kind of I think maybe a gross word that I try to stay away from in a way.
It's a real
And then
thing, man.
it's almost like
Educate.
cheesy,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
educate.
But you know what? People are looking for inspiration, though.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
In
But I
everything.
also think doing like just pure fluff, jump around, woo woo woo, like inspiration, like I don't know. That's not me.
But I
too.
don't think it's like that though. I feel that
Yeah.
they just live it and
Yeah.
they come. I mean, that's just the energy they put out.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're sitting there in a room with them, you're talking about whatever it is, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, what is that feeling I'm getting? And it's like, I guess it's inspiration. I don't really have, for lack of better terms.
Some people just put out that positive energy all the time. I know some
100%.
people like that.
Yeah.
And they always say what you put out is kind of what you get back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what you live in in that area, right? So,
I'm very much into that. So
and I see that with a lot of people, and they become successful
Mm-hmm.
just organically without wanting to, just because of the network they build and the whatever they put out to the world, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to being like a pleasant person to be around, sort of thing, right? Like even like it doesn't cost you anything to be a nice guy, right? And like, energy is kind of contagious, right? And like it's surprisingly simple how far you can go in life by just being like fun,
Friendly
to be
guy.
around,
A happy
friend,
person.
friendly, a
Happy
happy
person,
person,
yeah, absolutely.
And you can kind of transfer that energy to people, right? And like Zig Ziglar, sales is the transfer of emotion, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
no,
No,
it's
I
all
believe
it's
in
all
it,
how you frame it,
for sure.
right? So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you know, it was funny though, going back to Yeg people or whatever.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking as I like read our old text there and like sort of looked at the website, but it's funny. And maybe you can relate to this, but I always find for me like, because and Josh can attest to this, like I kind of get random ideas for like a project or something, and we'll be like, oh, we should do this and this and this, and then like day-to-day life sort of gets in the way or whatever. You kind of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't focus on that. And then I always find like doing that like extra level of marketing, especially because a lot of that comes down to like content and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very easy to do that and plan for it when you're not busy,
And then all of a
but
sudden
then you get
busy.
super busy and you have no time to do it. And like for me, like I find like when I'm posting a lot about my real estate stuff, it's perhaps because I'm not extremely busy, because I have lots of time to like think about it, plan it, etc. And then like and I've talked about this with you before, where like I
Yeah.
go out to meetings or like go do whatever, and then I like think I'm like, oh, this would be great to do some pictures or video or whatever, and then I
Finish the meeting, you're like, I forgot
yeah,
about
like,
it.
shit.
It happens to us all the time, too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it has to be, and I'm guilty, 100% guilty of this, and we have a team of people. They all get busy.
Yeah.
And there's so much projects and things I want to do, even my own social and for our company and the side projects we do.
Yep.
You have to be intentional putting it into a schedule. Like, you just said you hammered out 3 last week, these podcasts, and me 4 in 1 week period. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But you're intentional about it. You put it in schedule. You sent me, hey, you want this, Eric? You got to be here by this time and make this happen. You know, there's not like, so when's good for you? Oh, I'll look back. You know, you make it happen, and you make it a priority, and that's what's important. So if you put posting on social or creating content as a part of your schedule, and like notch out some time in the day that this is between 10 and 11 every day, this is what I'm going to focus on.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is the marketing part of my business, right?
Yeah.
As a realtor, and this is the time I work on marketing. Maybe it's twice a week from 10 to whatever. Then it becomes, then you get it done.
Yeah.
So
No,
has
that's
to
a
be part
good
of the
point.
schedule.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's even good for like, because some people are more naturally inclined to social media, right?
Yeah.
Especially like, there's lots of people who sort of were just on social media for like fun in the past, 7 or 8 years, however long it's been around.
Yeah.
Grew their followings and then started doing something where
Yeah.
like it was already like part of them.
Yeah.
Versus us, we have to like, at least you and I.
Oh, I definitely
for
have to make an
have to
effort
like
at it.
actively think about it. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of not a natural inclination for
Yeah.
me at least, right?
Yeah.
So
Some people
I
are just
think
really good at being behind the camera or
Yeah.
pulling out
Oh, for
stories
sure.
live all the time.
Yeah. 100%.
But then
Yeah.
I also like, so I don't want to name drop or anything, but there was like, I laughed so hard at this. There was someone who was fairly prominent on social media who was like at an event. I saw another social media person at the event, and I was watching this person's story, And this person who like is very good at social media and stuff, you have to go like so far out of your way, because it was kind of this like, it was not quite a runway or something, but there was sort of like a divided crowd with like, you know, watching
Tell us
something or
the
whatever
event.
it was.
Yeah, tell us the
I
event.
think it was like a fashion thing, right?
Okay.
So then, and then
Tell us who it was.
what
suspense
is
is killing
their
me.
first and last name? But anyways,
Yeah.
so that this person, like, you know, clearly you're supposed to kind of be behind the line and watching this thing and blah blah blah, and they like went, like, it was so funny to watch because you can clearly tell it's them, and they walk like way out in the middle, like borderline ruining the event for everyone else to like take their own story, sort of thing.
I have a story
So,
about this too.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that's living in Vancouver and works in an office building or whatever. There's this parking garage right in his view line.
Right.
Every single day he takes a photo of these people. They're out there on the like the top floor of the parking garage doing their Instagram photos or whatever, and he's loving it.
But to that point, the Rice Howard Parkade or whatever it is, like the new one,
Okay.
or maybe it's an old one, but it's a parkade downtown where people do those sort
Is
of
that the one
shoots.
like right by the Ultimate?
Does it have the circle in there where it like spins up?
Yes, so not the Ultima one,
Okay.
it's a different one
Yeah.
that's further east.
Okay.
It's an old one.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's old.
It's an
Okay,
old one.
but whoever is in charge of that is very clever because it's a parkade and they have an Instagram account with thousands of followers.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
like-
actually, a long time ago,
Yeah.
we took some photos for a run club that I was part of.
Yeah.
We were
Okay.
kicked out of that parkade by the security. Like, get out of here, guys.
No
You know,
way.
like,
No
yeah,
way.
so maybe they turned it and made it advanced.
Yeah, kind of jumping on a trend
Jumping
there,
on a
so.
trend.
It's a good marketing.
Yeah.
Here's the
that's-
funny thing: it's like a lot of people are making content for the sake of making content, or to feel good about themselves, or to get likes. And we see that Instagram is kind of taking that away now, right? So they took the likes
Yeah, that's
away.
really it.
They're testing
Actually,
that.
as
So
a guy who has a lot more marketing knowledge than us, what do you think of
What's your
that, and
take?
what will be the outcome?
it's a mental health thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, people are too addicted to the amount of likes, and it really affects some people. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I think I'm much older than you guys, but with the younger generation teenagers, that they like live on their popularity and how many likes they get, and now their heart's broken because that one photo of them didn't get X amount, and then it turns into, well, I better show a little more skin or do something crazy like take a photo off the side of a roof to get more attention.
Yeah.
That could. So it becomes a mental health issue, and I like that they kind of took. I do like they took away the likes because they, you know, it shouldn't be about that, right? It's not a popularity.
Yeah.
It is, you know, it is,
It
but
is,
it
but it
isn't.
isn't.
It is,
Yeah.
but we should like, just because your photo has 10,000 likes shouldn't mean I should jump on that as well. I should enjoy your content for me enjoying your
Yeah.
content,
Which is what Instagram
yeah.
says is the goal of this, right? So,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to also potentially increase the quality of content.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it does affect that this next generation coming up,
Yeah.
and you don't want them to fall into.
Yeah. I mean, there's
that.
definitely. I think there was an article that came out recently that said something about like the amount, because our generation was more like video games are so bad for you and stuff.
Yeah.
But they've basically proven that social media, like the negatives that it does for you health wise and stuff, is just 100-fold worse than like playing Halo 3 all the time would have done, right?
Video
So-
games became a good thing.
Yeah.
Now that there's esports leagues everywhere, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
scholarships to universities for esports.
Oh, I didn't even
there
know that
is.
part. Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We've had some people talking to us and telling us that high schools are now promoting esports within there to build high school teams for esports.
Damn.
They're
pretty
talking like
crazy,
not
man.
join the football team, but join the esports team at high school.
All
Fuck,
right.
man.
This is a thing.
If my high school had a Halo 3 team, I would have
Yeah.
been like the most popular kid.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was watching TV a couple weeks ago on a Saturday afternoon, and usually now it's kind of in between season of sports, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, you'd be like football or whatever, an afternoon, right, or some kind of tournament,
golf
or golf
or
or
something.
tennis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an esports league tournament on ABC, and
Oh, really?
it's
That's
straight
wild.
up like, you know, this is like the finals, like it'd be like NCAA championships. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
And there's so
Crazy,
much money that goes into those events.
Millions.
And stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's
millions.
there's some
insane.
pretty rich people that are buying esports
Yeah.
teams and
Oh,
I
yeah,
actually,
investing in it.
that's something I've kind of thought of where, like, you know, for me, it's something, like, I don't really play video games anymore or anything, but it's something, like, I definitely
Maybe you
enjoyed
should.
growing up. And it's like,
Bro,
well, it's
yeah.
like, how do,
Maybe
you
if
know,
you really threw yourself
in
into
this,
it.
yeah, in this day and age where it's like, make money doing what you like or whatever, or it's kind of like that low barriers to entry and stuff. It's like, hey, how do I get into that space. That's one that
gotta do it.
interests me.
Yeah.
I wanted to just circle back to our last question
Yeah.
about Instagram, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like the kid that gets picked last in, when you're in a
Yeah,
football
yeah.
or like whatever you play, a
Dodgeball,
recent,
whatever, yeah.
that may be, and you don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
I think now, and I'm not that kid, but all the kids in class have their social media following, and then now there's one guy or girl who has the least followers, and then now
Yeah.
they look upon them differently. That could be a thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
Or it's even that at scale, I think.
Yeah.
Right? One could say.
yeah, I think it
Intriguing.
has to be controlled to a certain
Absolutely,
extent.
yeah. So then, do you think? Because you probably have more insight into this, for let's call it, dirty word coming up, influencer side of things.
That's a dirty word.
I don't know. I think it's almost it's a cliche, but it's important at the same time. Where if I'm a company and I want to hire some influencers, how do I now see their numbers of their engagement, how many
We were discussing
followers,
this.
likes, and stuff? I mean, you can still see followers, but how many likes they get? How do I gauge if those are real followers and stuff, or if they just
Does their message align with your brand? Is what it is, I think.
You think so?
that's
think so.
versus the number of sheer likes, I guess, sort of thing.
Yeah.
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 Because I think it was previously about engagement and
But there's fake
what's your
engagement.
reach, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there is.
There's
Yeah.
lots of fake engagement.
Yeah.
So true, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's they call them pods, where people just engage on each other's things just to get the algorithm to
Kind
pick
of
you
get
up,
it thinking. Yeah,
get it
yeah.
thinking, and getting more. Then you can get on the explore page or getting more likes, whichever
Right.
the case is. So there's tricks around it that people are doing. So the engagement's not even real, right? So, and companies are paying these influencers. We're talking lots of money, thousands and thousands for a post, right?
Yeah. Depending on
Up to
what
$1 million
it
even,
is, yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
could not be real.
Yeah. So is the game worth playing?
I think if it works for you, and we're talking about buying.
No, I'm
What do-
talking
no,
about
what do you mean?
Like the
Trying
whole,
to grow a following.
Yeah,
I
trying to
guess,
grow
is
a
what he's
following.
asking.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not. You got to do it not to grow a following,
Right.
but
Right,
To do
yeah,
it
that's-
for you,
Gotcha.
in a sense,
Well,
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
So it's kind of like do the podcast, get it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
maybe
not.
the following comes type
Yeah.
of thing.
Do it.
yeah.
Because you enjoy it.
Because you
if
enjoy
it has
it.
a purpose, but not to be famous.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure is what our goals were. So.
I wanted to become famous.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same. So.
But people do it. So you do it for the marketing too,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So or for businesses as a personal brand or a business or being a real estate agent, building your personal brand is important. I'm sure Ryan Searhan gets more listings and his team gets more listings than others in New York that don't have that kind of following.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so I think he did a really good job, and I follow him quite a bit too. So
Yeah.
it's like his show, $1 million listing,
Yeah.
didn't get him listings, right? No one called and was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I saw you on TV. Can you list my?" It's the vlog he does and the social media following he does and
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
yeah.
He does that better than the other 2 guys or 3 guys that are on
Yeah.
that show.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
where I think, because it was definitely a smart move to get on that and then just kind of get it to a scale sort of thing, right?
Write
and
a
then
book, get that out there.
in theory, you pay your full-time video guy I don't know what, $60,000 a year to follow you around all day, 80 grand US. I have no idea, but the cost of that versus
Media
a
spend that he would
TV
buy,
show. Yeah, exactly.
or
right?
if he would to be buying billboards all across New York City,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
right?
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
And media, it's much less to create your own show, and now that's there forever as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
So-
yeah. And he even said, which I thought was smart, was because YouTube is a generation even younger than us who's really on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of well, these people are going to be buying a home eventually, right? So, how do I stay in front of that? It's also a 10, 15-year plan, I heard him say one time, which I thought was pretty
And we always
pretty
think about that
wise.
for our clients. People are looking,
Yeah.
we're looking for the 25-year-old, the 30-year-old to buy something. You're like, no, we have to hit them when they're 18, when they're 16, right?
Yeah.
Because then we build the
Yeah,
brand,
yeah.
and when it comes time to, let's say, buy a home, just exactly for our home builder clients, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for the higher demographic, young family.
Right.
But if you get them when they're
Yeah.
younger, when it comes time to buy a home, that's the name they're thinking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a long-term play.
Yeah, most definitely. Are there any newer platforms that you guys are really hammering on, or is it?
Interested in, or
Yeah.
At this point, no, mostly just Instagram, Facebook that we're
Yeah.
we're mostly interested in for our clients, right?
Yeah.
Um,
No Twitch.
No Twitch. Twitch is interesting though. Twitch
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
Our developer in house is also a gamer. He was
Okay.
a pro gamer at one point, or is still a pro gamer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he has a Twitch following, and he's on Twitch, right?
Nice. Okay.
So
yeah.
there's tons of advertising opportunity on Twitch. You can
Yeah.
imagine like food delivery or whatever that you know.
Yeah, you kind of have to like find something that combines too,
Yeah.
right?
The good part about all these things is that it's all niche, you know, so you can
Find
you
your
can find your thing.
your unicycle. What did we say in the previous episode? You're a unicycling bear juggling, where you're good at like 3 things.
Oh yeah. I don't remember exactly.
bringing
what
them
it
all
was.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But talking about like getting things started, you own a company.
Yeah.
How did you get it all started? Like, where did you begin with it? What's your background?
If I may interrupt a question all about you, we're going to take a 2-second break and then
Perfect.
get into you're mispronouncing your
I just
last name
I just
wrong, Eric,
mispronounced.
or Josh,
No,
whatever
I-
your name is.
Whatever my name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pronounced it Blaze, and my aunt was like, "So are you going by Blaze now?" And I was like, "That's just how people know me, man."
Oh, I was about to say, like, everyone knows you as Josh Blaze. Like,
Yeah.
I think most people know it's correctly pronounced Blay, but, like,
but they just do it
people
anyway.
just say Blaze. Like, but you also say Blaze, so.
Sometimes
Yeah.
depends on
Anyways.
how I'm feeling, day by day. You know, I can be 2 people at once. That's kind of
Yeah.
my mentality.
So, anyways, we were asking you how you started out
Yeah,
with your.
yeah. Like you were telling me 5 or 6 years ago. You were saying,
Yeah, I can rewind a little to a backstory.
yeah. Let's do the whole backstory. I love
Super
it.
backstory.
Yeah.
I moved out to Vancouver when I was young. Took an internship for free downtown Vancouver. Sweet job.
Yep.
Worked at a web hosting company. We're talking early 2000s. I'm dating myself.
Okay.
To be a web designer, and I thought I'd have an awesome, fun career.
Yep.
Huh.
I'm young. I'm 18. I'm like, oh, I'm in Vancouver. I'm gonna have this awesome corporate job downtown Vancouver.
Sure.
3 months, no pay. It's living in Vancouver.
Was still expensive then?
Still expensive then, not as crazy as now, but still much more than Edmonton was,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they decided not to move forward with that department. So,
Okay.
so was out of a job, was looking for jobs, which I thought would be great because there's so much more jobs there than here at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also so many more people. So there's not only more people that are coming from out of town in Canada, but people from around the world who are now in Vancouver
Yeah.
and willing to work for nothing or whatever. So it's quite competitive. I ended up working at a used car dealership actually, and which was kind of fun at the same time. Great
Yeah.
small crew of people.
Yeah.
Pay was $800 a month if I remember. Yeah. So think about surviving there, $800 a month.
Yeah.
But I'd make commission if I sold cars at the same time. So I'd be updating websites, creating their websites, creating all their online ads. Very rudimentary at the time. This
Yep.
is a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Yeah.
But
You probably have been like ahead of the curve even then too.
I think so, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
What would they have been doing? Like AdWords then, or like what?
Not even.
Like
Like
would it have
updating
been?
their maybe Auto Trader was very early at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Updating their own. I created with somebody a custom database that uploaded their pre-owned inventory onto their website.
Okay.
Which was crazy already back then, you know.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But selling cars at the same time, which is great. Like I like selling. I ended up enjoying talking to people a lot, which was great. I think for skills that I need today, right?
Yeah.
As you both are in that world, so
Yeah.
so did that for a few years. Great people. Still talk to them now. Came back to Edmonton to help my friend with the business he was starting up. It was a painting company, and we were helping with the operations side of things while still doing my thing. So while I was doing that, I kicked off doing my freelance web design company
Yep.
on my own. And that was fun. I was working on that. At that time, moved back home from being in Vancouver, so I was able to try to do my venture. A company called Rayacom found me. They were small at the time, one location,
That one,
4 or 5 people.
I've heard of them. Yeah. Anyways. So.
Yeah, just a print company, and we they wanted me to do web design with them for them, and I was like, no, I'm doing my own thing. I'm happy with my freedom, and
Yeah.
you know, this was before like working from home was even a thing, right?
Sure.
But it was
Definitely, yeah.
awesome, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to run my own business, but then I realized that without having worked at a business in this kind of field before, it'd be tough to learn on my own. So they offered me actually a sales and marketing with potential to kind of be a GM type role, and it was a growing company, and it was still in line with kind of what I liked, which was design and sales and marketing. The medium was just print marketing versus online, for me. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna dive into this. So I ended up being there for 7 years. We grew it from one location to multiple locations in Edmonton.
Yep.
I think there's 3 now.
Pretty big now.
And then across Canada as well too. So we ended up franchising it, and that drove me into a world of franchising,
Nice.
which was fun. So I ended up running that for a while. Became a marketing manager there after I was done doing the franchising stuff, and I decided to jump from there. Awesome crew of friends I'm still friends with now, into the frozen yogurt world. So
Interesting.
I stepped away from that. I still was knowing my end goals to be where I'm at right now and running my own creative marketing agency.
Yep.
But there was an opportunity to partner with a frozen yogurt company, Tutti Frutti Frozen Yogurt, and grow that company. And while still doing marketing, so they hired me as a marketing consultant and as a company to take care of their marketing across Canada. So I was still doing that, and while also helping them with franchise sales and being a little more involved on their operations and management side. We took that from 4 locations to 30 actually, which was pretty cool. Got to travel across Canada a little bit and learn the business side of things, and also open my own store in West Ed with the people who had the master franchise.
Nice.
So that was kind of the exciting part of the opportunity. We're going to hire you as the marketing company, which was great, a good contract, and also there's an opportunity to partner in this retail store, right?
Nice.
I was like, you know what? I love desserts and sweets. I'm going to try this out, right?
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was just good experience, right?
Are you still involved in
No.
that, or no?
And the funny part
Is
of
the
that, I
one
was
still,
like,
is it still there? in West End?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they worked 30, and then it was kind of like a craze for a while,
such as all
and
things.
they slowed down. I think they ended up selling their rights to the master, but I had stepped away from at that time. So we grew our store. We ended up selling our store. I liked it at the time because I started working, one of my first jobs other than my parents' restaurant, like every Asian kid. Working at the mall at Buffalo was one of my first jobs.
Like the jeans.
The jeans,
Yeah.
and then the retail store there. So I was like, how cool is it? I circle back and now I have my own store in West End, right?
Yeah. Comes
So-
totally full circle.
Yeah. So
That's
I
awesome.
wanted to just kind of check that off my list,
Nice.
So we ended up doing that, and at the same time while building we were like consultancy at the time, right? I started growing my team. That's like where we met initially as well.
Yeah.
And 2.5 years ago, we decided to, our team grew and as we took on more clients, we decided to rebrand it as 12 Creative.
Yeah.
Moving forward from then, we're now a team of 7 and continuing to grow, and there's some super fun stuff in the works. So
That's awesome, man.
So that's the whole backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I got started. I guess as we took on a few clients and met more people came to us, and it just naturally evolved into the business.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
So you don't really have like a schooling background in like computer science or anything
so if I
like that.
just rewind a little
Yeah,
past
okay,
before
yeah, I kinda
Vancouver.
got-
Yeah.
After high school, I took it was a trend of taking private computer college courses.
Okay. Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to dive into web design and programming, so I
Yep.
did take programming web design school for 1 year, and then I ended up focusing on design versus more of the
Gotcha.
computer programming
Okay.
side of
Yeah,
things.
really cool.
Yeah.
Were you like, when you were in high school or younger or teenager or whatever, were you like designing websites yourself at that point, or kind of just
In
interested
high school, I was
space?
able to design like flyers for small companies and
Yeah.
other things like online platforms,
Yeah.
and just design websites for fun.
Yeah.
And they would give that as high school credit back then.
Okay.
No shit.
Oh, I
That's awesome.
tons of credit. Probably passed just because I was able. Here's some flyers design. Okay, credit. It's like this is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the world has changed a lot.
So that would have been like HTML, CSS.
Not even CSS, just like HTML. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, like I was always super interested in design and
Yep.
and the online aspect of design, right? So
It's really cool. So what frameworks do you guys use today, if you don't mind me asking?
WordPress.
WordPress. Okay. Yeah.
We custom build everything around WordPress
Gotcha.
for websites now.
Really cool.
Yeah.
We kind of had our foray into that, and
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like, I don't know, there was kind of a point of critical mass where you either need to really learn it when it comes to WordPress, or like I found like apps or some
Page
site.
builders.
Page
Squarespace,
builders.
Wix,
Yeah.
Pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've caught up so much where like for me to get the specialized knowledge, it just didn't make sense anymore. But I'm semi-coherent in WordPress and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm fully self-taught programmer.
Oh.
So yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So I got into like Python and stuff when I was, I guess 3 years ago now. I was
Wow.
trading and I was like, I don't want to sit here 8 hours a day. So maybe I'll like code something to like make it work. I didn't know a lick of Python.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, see where it takes me. So
Yeah, as things evolve, it's becoming more and more easier for everybody
Super
to pick
true.
up like web apps or any like
Yeah.
web
Yeah.
builders, things like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
too,
Even
which is
like-
great. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
it like reduces the barrier to entry for a lot of people. So you can kind of get something out there.
yeah,
But I feel that the design and stuff, you need like
Yeah.
agency to do that sort of thing.
we merge the business and the design and knowing the customer all together.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody can build a web page quick on Squarespace.
So
whatever
true.
the
Mhm.
case is, right?
Yeah.
But we really we hone in the needs of what their clients are, and we understand what their business needs, and we're able to take that and put into
Well, it's like
Online.
overall branding, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not just
Yeah.
design or it's not just this. It's
Yeah.
like the whole thing,
everything.
right? So
yeah.
it's like
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's something I've really like, because, we obviously did branding work together with
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
like, I really like that. And I still have sort of like used bits and pieces of it, as you've seen, because I recently had Eric do some stuff for me. But now I'm realizing the more I look at like, well, even to go back to Ryan Serhant and like how clean his website is, the brand's cohesive, the font throughout, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like for me personally, like my stuff is kind of like all piecemeal together where like it works. Like I got clients, I sell homes, blah, blah, blah. But I'd like to like get it back to like a nice together thing. And I think there's an importance to that, especially like everything from website to your listing presentation folders to like your lawn sign, just to go to the real estate agent.
yeah.
world
So it's
sort
all
of
like
thing.
one straight line.
Yeah.
What's
one,
important is that people recognize it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
most
exactly.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
so we might be in touch later this year. But
Cool.
anyway.
yeah,
I was just gonna say, there's people that get paid a lot of money to do the UI UX design
Yeah.
for sure
Oh, for sure.
for any of these things. So
cool. And we're diving into a bunch of cool things too. We're involved with a company called SkillsTrader.com.
okay,
And they're, I want to say, the LinkedIn for the trades is what they're kind of building into.
cool.
Oh, okay.
As a student, you sign up, you punch in your information, you fill in the blanks of what education you have, and not as a student, at any point in time. A good friend of mine, Fatty, is the creator of it. He had some body shops, and he was seeing that there was troubles of finding a good auto body tech, that they would put an ad out, people come to interview, and they were just not good or didn't.
Yeah.
He had a home painter come apply for it. He said, "Oh, it's a painting." Like, no, you gotta be like a certified auto body
Oh,
painter,
wow.
right?
Yeah.
So what he did was created SkillsTrader.com to fulfill that need, right? So people could put their score. Well, people would put their education, what they do, or what their certifications are.
Yep.
And he built an algorithm to pump out the score of what that person's at.
Interesting.
And not necessarily mean you're a higher score, which is great. You're better and you're more educated. You have more years experience, and
Yeah.
you get your ticket and all that stuff. But employers not always looking for the most educated people because they're looking to get entry level guys to get the job done because they're super busy.
Right.
So that employers can find people at different levels. Students or people at all levels can go in there, fill in information, get their score, but also upgrade education. All the education platforms are going to be right in there, and they have partners like 3M who are putting their certifications right in there. You're in
Okay,
there,
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
able to take the course, and then now upgrade your education. So in the olden days, people sign up as a skills person and work in an auto body shop, and now 20 years later, they're like, "Oh, I'm still here."
Yep.
Now we're trying to tell people that you can continue your education and they have a score, so it kind of motivates them to get more educated. And if you
Interesting.
take these certifications, your dollar per hour rate pay goes up to this level. So it's good for everybody.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
And a secondary project we're working on, and one of my partners, Ray Yu, we're diving into cannabis marketing. We know
Oh,
that
okay.
that market is gonna
You know,
Yeah.
grow
I remember seeing you guys were working, speaking of franchises, with some sort of cannabis franchise, but it was before legalization, so I don't know if anything happened.
yeah
to
before
that,
and during, and they ended up selling for $50 million. We should have took steak, but we didn't. Yeah, so not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
but- Huh. Wow.
So he's actually one of my partners now. In we're growing like a different agency.
Nice.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So
So
not
Yeah, I
like
mean,
a sister agency for this. Yeah,
For sure.
That's super exciting. We're getting traction in the States. Haven't fully launched yet. He's down there right now, but
so
I think
it's
it'll come to
marketing
fruition.
to the States. Is that
marketing for cannabis brands in all
gotcha.
areas. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Because it's not universally legalized in the States,
Yeah.
right? There's
No,
only
no.
4 states or something.
I think
3
more
or
on that
4.
sort. Yeah.
I think it's about 4 now.
But
Maybe more.
there's so much branding and packaging, and when edibles comes into play, there's just so
Yeah.
much awesome design work we can do in
Almost
this area.
Yeah.
And positioning and marketing and
Yeah.
influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of laws around where you
was
can't
about to
use
say.
Facebook or Google or whatever the case is to advertise. So you
Yeah.
can't just run ads for your shop or whatever, the retail store.
Yeah.
So using influencers is the way to get the word out too.
Interesting.
Or celebrity
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
collaborations.
you have to
right?
get? Do you have like a lawyer in house, or do you have a like?
We have
How
a-
much would a lawyer come into? I guess
We have a
cannabis
legal
marketing?
legal partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
be. So if you were coming into play and you wanted to find out what you can or cannot do in that sense, we have a source for that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
We were trying to like be a vertical solution for everything you need from, raising funds to finding retail locations. Our team comes in hand with the website branding, all the marketing, all the aspects.
Yeah,
It's super exciting. It's something
That's really
we're
exciting.
excited about. Yeah.
it's definitely a big space for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna partner with Dan Bilzerian or something, or what?
He has like something now.
a couple companies.
Cannabis related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never
A
seen.
lot of people are diving into that.
Yeah.
I know it's trending and so on, but we
Yeah.
found that
Yeah.
when we looked at the market, especially we're dealing with a couple growers and a retail right now, there is a need for a centralized point where they can call to do their design work,
Yeah.
and it's less like how it was before, where it's very gray black market. It looks like XYZ,
Yeah.
Now they're really wanting a polished corporate front, and that's
True.
where we can really
Yeah,
help
yeah,
them, I
definitely.
believe.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So when you're looking to hire somebody at your firm,
Yeah.
do you look for past education, or do you look for like self-taught in the WordPress space? Because I mean, a lot of people, they go into that space, they start building websites and all, like yourself, pretty
Yeah.
much, and like all of a sudden, 3 years later, they're super
They're
proficient.
awesome, right?
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
super good at it.
So
and-
at 12 Creative, what I look for mostly is not even any of that first in terms of like their skill level or, their education or anything. I want to get to know the person first, their personality and what they're capable of, and can they grow as an individual, right? You might have the best fucking like programmer out there, but just can't get along with the team. Can't get along
Yeah.
with you, right?
Yeah.
That's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa, right? So what we look for is someone who can play with other kids, can get along with everybody, but also has like the potential and want to grow. They want to grow themselves, right? They want to get to a better place, and they're willing to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
That's what I look for first. It's a personality type,
Yeah.
right? Then the other stuff comes into play. And then answer your question, education is great, right? We know if they have formal schooling, that's great. We have a lot of Grant McEwen, students that graduated and come work with us.
Yep.
We have a U of A and we have a NAIT as well too. They're all great in their own ways, but when it comes to, let's say, design or program, whatever that may be, I also look at what their portfolio has and what they can
Right.
bring to the table.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah,
good mix. But we have a good mix of every kind of individual, right, as well too. So we have marketing grads from U of A that have no design experience, but know the communication side of things,
Sure.
right? So, good mixed bag.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the people come first. I truly believe it's what makes us as a company different than the others, and what we put into it. And if they're happy and they're growing, then our clients will be happy. They'll do good work, right?
Nice.
Creating
Yeah.
that good work environment is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a leader, it's something to really like look into, right? It's the whole chemistry of the team and making sure that people, they're not butting heads too much. And all
For
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's really cool.
yeah.
I
I
also
literally
think,
play HR role 24/7. It's
Yeah,
weird like that,
definitely.
but that's what's the most important, I think, to growing company, right?
Oh,
It's the people
100%,
have to be
yeah.
happy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, certainly. Well, also, I think where Josh was slightly trying to lead with that question is we have a little bit of a great debate going on with some of our friends, because Josh and I are obviously like, we went to university and stuff, but we're more of the mindset of like self-teaching. It's not just about where you went to school and that sort of stuff, versus another part of our crew of friends is very like, all about where you went to school and
Right.
being higher educated and stuff. And yeah, so that's kind of
I have a friend who graduated from U of A as an engineer,
yeah.
has an MBA from York University, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Also has a law degree from Northwestern.
Okay.
Then moved to New York and has another degree there for something he specialized in from using all that.
Yep.
So now he's 3 degrees down with 1 master's, you know?
Yeah.
Living good life now, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But, and then
That would be like 10, 12 years of school. Wouldn't
yeah.
It? Like, yeah.
And there's a place for that, for what you want
Yeah.
to do. And then there's people who I know who have 0 to no education and literally kicked out of high school and has built super successful businesses and is super happy. I think
Yeah.
the measure is not the education or
Yeah.
where they are at life or what possessions they own, but how happy they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very wise.
So,
That's gonna be a soundbite.
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. But it's what you like to do, right?
Oh, 100%.
I have friends who are literally still in school now in their 30s
Yeah.
because they love that.
Oh, 100%.
I
Yeah.
don't know how much further you can get. I think, doctorate or whatever's after that.
Yeah,
But they love
it's
that.
probably
and
the
they
peak,
love
yeah.
passing on the knowledge to the students they work with, and they're still students themselves, and that's what they like to do.
Yeah.
So that works
I
for them.
guess, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, whatever works for that person.
I think that is success at the end of the day. Is like, are you enjoying what you're doing, and is it making you, like, find who you're supposed to be or whatever it is?
1,000%.
And if that's what you're doing, then
Yeah.
I would say you're successful, right?
Where I think some of the, and maybe it's different now than before. I grew up in a household where they were like, hey, we worked so hard to get here to Canada. We didn't have a chance to be educated at university, and we're putting you in this great environment now. And I'm very, very fortunate when I was young. Right? I'm the only child too, so
Oh, okay.
well too, yeah. And they're like, you have to go to university and be whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I never went to university. So they're like, oh, come on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but they're really, my parents are awesome, and they don't
Yeah.
put the pressure on for anything. But there's
Yeah.
some families that really, no matter where they come from, really focus in. And when you go to school, you got to be this, and you got to go to university, and you're gonna be this, and
Yeah.
you're gonna join this, and that's like fed into them since they're younger,
Yeah.
and maybe that changes the mindset, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think we're just of the mindset that there's so much good coming of the internet that if you really want to learn something, you can do it.
yeah,
Like if
you
you
learn
put,
Python just like that.
oh, it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of the thing. Like
Yeah.
if you really want to get into something, I mean, there's a course or there's a video somewhere out there that
Yeah.
can teach you, right? So,
Yeah, we're actually getting into a little bit of education at 12 Creative too.
Okay.
In terms of small business education, we find like people in the like real estate, home builder, restaurant, or just small business in general. The question we get asked the most, they come to us like, how do we grow our business or get more customers?
Right.
That's ideally is everyone.
100%.
That's what they want,
yeah,
right?
There you
So,
go.
Yeah.
Instead of having individual conversations like the phone calls I may have with like you or somebody else,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to package all that information up into either an online course, and we're working on packaging this up to like either ebook or online course right now.
Cool.
Where people can just make a small purchase, download it, and take it again. We have all that information with the roadmap right there for you.
Right.
And now we can sell that and market it to the rest of the world, not just local.
Right.
And there's going to be someone around the world who's going to want that piece of information, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're spreading knowledge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just like going back to what we were, just putting things out into the world. I'm even just like writing a book and just putting it out there and seeing what happens, right?
Yeah,
So,
why not, right?
Yeah.
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 Like,
But education is literally everywhere now. Like some people just watch YouTube videos, get educated about everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, you can watch anything you want online.
yeah.
Yeah,
The differentiator is, do you take action, I think,
100%.
right?
There's that soundbite right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, I mean, you can sit and watch videos all day long, but until you write the code or talk to somebody or go market yourself or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
people ask like, why do you give away so much free content to some of these people I follow, right?
Yeah.
And even like I literally see some guys that give the formula of this is how I did this,
Yep.
and this is how you should do this.
Yep.
And there's people like, why would you give that out to the world? It's like, listen, I don't even care. 99.9% of the people are not going to actually take action on this, so it doesn't matter. But good for you for the 1.1% that does it, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it's a surprising thing where it's like, and it's so interesting and almost seems like fairly counterintuitive, but giving out a lot of that free content, free information, like will actually get you a lot of business. I think
It is,
what I'm
yeah.
told. You probably can attest more directly to that. For sure.
Giving value out there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is important, right?
Mhm.
Well, if people see you as an authority on marketing or
Yeah.
real estate or whatever
Yeah.
it is, right?
Yeah.
Comes right
Yeah.
back to
If
you.
I was doing free content, let's say I interviewed a lot of people in the game, and let's say agents, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
And I'm putting together lists of top 10 things these top agents in the U.S. or Canada are putting out there as content,
Mhm.
or I have the number one as a let's say I was a real estate marketing company, had the number one real estate marketing like blog or whatever that may be, because I'm interviewing agents, you'd come to me, right? You'd watch the content, and when you're ready to, let's say I'm selling real estate websites,
Yep.
when you're ready to pull the trigger, you're like, you know what, I'm probably going to use those guys, right?
Yep.
So
There you
it's,
go.
it's building that authority, right?
Yep.
Yeah, just giving good value out to your customer, you know,
Mhm.
is very important.
Definitely.
Are you familiar with like DigitalOcean or any of those like
Hosting company?
Yeah, hosting company. So what
Yeah.
they do is write technical blogs up the ass all day long. Technical blogs on how to
Right.
do this, 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 and this. And I mean, you end up on their page because you're like, how do I do this? And
Yeah.
they have the authority. So then all of a sudden, when you go to need a hosting company,
You trust them.
there you go.
You build the trust already, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really good marketing on their part.
Yeah.
Because they just do it all over the place when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Yeah.
Giving value out for free is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Making people laugh is also good.
Yeah. It's they say the formula is like entertain, educate, inspire, right? You got to entertain too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
attention's got to be there,
Can't
right?
just be like
Yeah.
This is how you
yeah,
do it.
online 90 of the
You
command
know what? Like,
console.
I don't know much about this. Have you guys watched those ASMR videos?
Oh.
It's literally like that, right?
Or they're like eating
Oh,
into
yeah.
the mic or
Just
something.
nice, like super. It's like 20 minutes of eating like one chip.
I don't know if that's gonna make a
No,
sound.
it's not
but-
really picking it up. Maybe a little bit.
How does that get a million views? Tell me.
I know.
Do you know what? There's a guy in Edmonton. I want to say he's a buddy of one of my friends.
Yeah.
You know what he started doing? Was he started reviewing like the worst restaurants. And started making YouTube videos.
Did he piss
about
people
them.
off?
He did, but he
Yeah.
also got a ton of views on it.
Right.
Because he would go in and just like he would review McDonald's, for example, right?
Right.
And he would just like take, oh, these chicken strips or whatever, and just go super in depth
Yeah.
about it. Like
That's
is a guy from
hilarious, though.
Edmonton?
this is a guy from
That's
Edmonton,
hilarious.
Yeah,
and
I've
he would
never
go
we
heard
need
like,
to follow this.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go find
Yeah.
his name and
Can you
everything.
put in the show notes after?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll show him out.
Yeah.
But anyway, like he would go like 20-minute video and like, you know, like a 5-star review of McDonald's or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And I was like, that's super like out there. But it's that's how you get noticed.
Side note: Did
literally
a
be
homeless bum
anything.
end up robbing you at McDonald's too?
In
I
Montreal.
throw that in your face all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
In Montreal, bro. Yeah, so I don't even know if I actually told the full story.
Yeah, you sort of.
The machine?
Yeah,
Something
the
with
machine. Yeah,
He
so
tricked you with the receipt.
yeah, so he stole my like nuggets and like burger and like I don't know. I think it was like $13 worth of
Yeah.
McDonald's, which is it's a pretty good McDonald's order.
Outsmarted you.
Yeah, he outsmarted me. He was super drunk. That's how smart I am.
Yeah.
Outsmarted me.
So you didn't take the receipt from the thing? Is that what?
That's
the
what it
issue
is. Yeah. So I've never used those machines
Yeah.
before, right? And it was like, oh, you need your receipt to prove that this was your purchase,
Yeah.
and nah, I forgot it, or didn't even know that I needed it, and take the receipt. And he was like, buy me a Big Mac, and I was like, no.
He showed you.
That's what it was.
yeah.
So he takes my receipt. He's like holding it hostage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, buy this guy a Big Mac. And then he just takes my bag and
Yeah.
walks out. I was like, oh, well,
Interesting.
try to be a nice guy,
Yeah.
and this is what happens.
But yeah, we gotta find this that one guy who's reviewing restaurants.
That's
But you know what?
really
It's really
interesting.
against the grain, right? It's
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's-
I like that.
There's a market for everything.
You know what's funny is have you ever read Grind It Out, like Ray Kroc's book about
No.
founding McDonald's?
Yeah.
So like
Friggin' Ray Kroc.
yeah, it's actually
Steals all
really
my
it's,
McDonald's.
it's an excellent book, but one thing, and the book was written in like the 80s because he died in like 1989 or something like that,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so where the book ends is decades ago, right? But it was talking about how he built McDonald's to what it was at that time,
Right.
But it was really interesting because they actually were proposing doing like automated counters in like the 70s and 80s.
Oh my
Wow.
And then he's
Word.
like, no, like a big part of McDonald's is like the
smile.
host or hostess
Yeah.
smiling
Yeah.
at you, taking your order.
Yeah.
We'll never get rid of
Yeah.
that. And then obviously now we see the
Yeah.
big screen things.
Oh, man.
It's not that I don't want to see the hostess or the person smiling.
Yeah.
Human interaction is definitely key.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what people like these days is less friction, right? So
Oh,
if I can just
seamless,
walk up
right?
to that thing and just be like this and be done,
Yeah.
or I can literally do it on my app and then
Yeah.
pull up to the, you know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just so much easier.
Yeah.
And people like that.
Yeah, that's the
If
thing.
there's a thing that for humans to be lazier, we like that.
Oh,
right?
100%,
That's
yeah.
The convenience. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
like convenient.
I can keep talking. I'll just have to click the thing over here.
Oh, it's, ambulance ride
Yeah.
from the mountain to Calgary, and all the bumps and everything along the
Oh,
way.
and
Oh,
then,
like
yeah,
bruised it worse.
Yeah.
So what?
You can't hate on Calgary now.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never been one to hate on Calgary.
You like
but
the Flames?
What?
I don't mind them.
What? Wow.
So would there have been any reason they wouldn't have air?
No, I
lifted
don't
them?
like the Flames.
Oh.
But, I mean, if there
Access,
was,
right? Maybe
Just access,
timing,
I guess.
access.
If it was really
What if the
badly
helicopter was,
snowing,
like-
or if there was a more serious
Yeah.
injury, right? So if there
which
was like
you'd
a,
probably be hard pressed to find.
I mean, if there's a huge
I mean,
car crash
not
or
to
something,
play
right? Yeah.
fucking a contest of injuries.
Yeah, but I mean, if there was
Yeah.
some like car crash or something like that, that probably would have taken them out of. But it was like a Saturday morning at like 9 a.m., so it wasn't, you know, it
But
wasn't.
yeah, it was
a
like your
peak.
first run.
What
of the day.
happened? What happened to that? You took a fall. You hit something, or
Yeah, so I how I tell the story is there was like this lip, and my friends like took the lip and kind of went off to the side. They
Yeah.
veered off to the side, and I decided, I don't know, I just hit it full speed and went left instead of right.
right?
And it was a drop off and just came down, didn't land properly.
How far is the drop? Like, are you used to those kind of like? Are you?
I
a good
mean,
skier? You could take a drop. Like,
Yeah, like I've snowboarded before and done
Yeah.
that sort of thing, and like, you know, but mostly in more controlled environments,
Yeah.
more so like the park or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Not in the middle of the mountain, right?
yeah,
And yeah, just they don't know how high it was. Probably 15, 20
yeah,
feet.
just bad
or-
land.
Yep. And actually, what they think what happened, I landed on a tree stump,
Oh,
and because there's not very much snowpack that day.
and that compressed your
Yeah,
back down.
and I sat down, and right in here is where it broke.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Feeling okay now?
I mean, I can go to the gym.
Yeah.
I can lift more than this. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Quite the story.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
it's,
definitely.
it's a bit of a story for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. So what I've been doing with it now is I started just a clothing line,
Yeah.
and what we're doing is every hat that we sell, $3 stars our ambulance. Every
Right.
hoodie we sell, $5 stars our ambulance.
Cool.
So I was like,
How do we get a hold of a hat? We'll get one put in the office.
You know what, dude? I have one in my car.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, because I mean, I figured, you know what, that was part of my story, and they helped me out, and hopefully this can help somebody else out too. And
Yeah. No, that's really awesome. I like
Yeah.
that. Eric was asking if we've ever thought of getting sponsors for the show or something, but I kind of explained we shamelessly self-sponsor.
I mean, I'd be open to it.
I
too.
also was even thinking, speaking of random projects and ideas too, was doing something where like do like a local business spotlight in the form of an advertisement as like a
Okay.
free advertisement or something, just to like kind of grow traffic to our channel.
Just like this week we have Linwood McDonald's
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like
Something-
this week we have 12 creators.
Yeah, something like that. Where
for
like
Eric's
I kind of
episode.
and then kind of like a more formal ad read within that show. Like it doesn't have to be related to the guest necessarily. And then I was just kind of brainstorming what that would look like. And then
But it would give you like more notoriety.
in
Like
theory,
it's
right?
like, do you want to sponsor this episode? And it's like,
Yeah.
just
Well, you
listen
could
to
do it for a while, like you said,
Yeah.
at no cost, just
Yeah.
to feature local businesses,
Mhm.
and that takes if your audience is okay to that, right? Then
Yeah.
you can slowly,
That's
maybe.
a really good idea.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was,
Did you tell them the White Ave idea too?
Oh yeah, we had the brilliant idea of like because we want to do more. Like I don't know. I kind of look to like Barstool Sports a lot just because that's so popular with like
Right.
like our age group right
Yeah.
as a whole. And but some of their content is really awesome, and they're about just like putting it out there and having all these channels. But anyways, I was thinking like specific video pieces, and we're like, let's do like drunk White Ave interviews.
At like
So
2:30.
like go down there with the camera. and like one of us be the host and like have like a microphone and then just ask people like
Deep pressing questions.
pressing questions.
You said one the other day. You're like, "What do you think about the escalating tension in Hong Kong or something?"
Oh, yeah.
Or like something like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, heavy world events.
Yeah.
It's just like what's
Yeah,
going on.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think
I
it'd
don't
be
know.
pretty funny.
We were just bullshitting with our one friend the other day. And, yeah, so
That could be a spin-off of the.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, like a not like a related but not related show. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought that'd be funny.
I'm gonna
It's interesting because you think that you don't want to be asking them for money or product, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
But really, you might be giving them a lot of value, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
of, your niche group of listeners, right?
Yeah, when you think of it, it's like
Yeah, like it could be a pretty hyper targeted.
We had a bucket of Popeye's chicken right here. Only
there you go.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
they get some camera.
Yeah.
Stuff,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
get to eat
Logo
the
to
chicken
camera.
after. You
There
know?
you go.
camera.
It's like we get value, they get
Yeah.
value, right?
Yeah.
No, very true.
Yeah. Yeah, I need
So-
to. I don't know. That crossed my mind the other day, and I kind of want to brainstorm on that a little bit further.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. I like that. Okay, well, I'll start contacting Popeye's Chicken,
Yeah.
bro.
Something like that.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do a review of it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get super philosophical for a second here, but life just seems to be constantly like putting yourself out there and seeing what happens. I don't know if you both kind of.
I'd say so.
I've come to like that realization. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Well, I guess it's the more opportunities you take, whether it's like personal, business, life,
Yeah.
etc., kind
Yeah.
of thing, and even if it's something unconventional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the risk. It's what you put out there
Mhm.
and what energy you put out there and what things you put out there that
yeah,
we don't know that me coming on here because I said you just messaged me. I said sure, why not? Let's do it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I don't know what inclined you to message me. You know what? This could propel into something else that down.
Exactly.
I see
Yeah.
when I look back at things that happen. Those little things like made such a difference. I decided to call this one person and
Mhm.
stay in touch, and all of a sudden, 10 years later, something. You never know,
Yeah.
right?
Is there anything that comes
Life,
to mind for you?
life
for
is
that?
what you put it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get deep here.
Yeah. Especially, well, also because you're much further along in your career too, right?
Okay, so one
yeah.
that comes to mind, not a business sense.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
my wife
Yeah.
says she accidentally added me as a friend on Facebook.
Okay.
Right.
This is good.
Which is the truth. Yeah. So
yeah.
Or it is the truth.
she says it's true. Right.
I was gonna say
Um,
accidentally.
Yeah.
The story was her and her friends looking up some guy, apparently not me, but same name.
'Kay.
And she didn't even know.
Yeah.
Right.
Were
So,
there mutual friends and stuff at least, or were you like?
I have some mutual friends with her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not quick to respond to, let's say, these things. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
If people are adding me on Facebook all the time.
Gotcha.
And I don't know the person, I won't automatically add them, right?
Yeah.
But just so happens, months later, I decided, you know what, I will message them. And it's because someone told me about her passing a long time ago,
Yeah.
randomly, and then it came to mind. I was like, oh, she added me as a friend. Okay, weird, right? So I'll just message her
Sure.
a quick, hey, some friends of ours thought it'd be nice to like meet, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god, I added this guy as a friend? I
Yeah.
didn't even know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
for sure.
now we're happily married, expecting our first child in a few weeks, and
Awesome. Yeah.
so
That's crazy.
I
how things
decided to
happen.
just
That's a
send
good
that
story.
message out randomly,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a
so I
sudden.
can thank Zuckerberg
Yeah.
for putting this together for us, like, but
Shout out
yeah.
Zuckerberg.
I mean, wasn't
That's a
that
that's a-
more or less the point of Facebook, anyways?
yeah,
right?
like
guess
just
so.
a random. One day, I remember I just put on TV. I came home from a run or whatever I was doing work, and
Yeah.
I think it was a run, and I just like on my phone. Oh, you know what? I decided to like
Mhm.
yeah.
So I don't know.
So,
Take the chance, I guess.
there's like
is
little
the moral.
chances you take that
Yeah.
really change
So
the
true.
path of your life, right?
Yeah.
And it's the people you meet, or
Yep.
you just never know, right?
No,
Mhm.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know
So-
who knows a CEO or is gonna be your wife or
Yeah.
right?
Or your
Like,
best friend, or
Yeah. So does
whatever.
does that work for a story?
That's a
That's
pretty.
good.
That's
That's
a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I think
We were
the audience will
expecting-
like that
yeah,
one.
you went-
In a lot of
That
business
was great.
senses, part of our thing with my team is that no matter what size of client, whether they're just getting something really small or they're a big company, $100 million companies, right?
Mhm.
Treat them the same across the board, right?
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
worked with businesses who are super small, who had an idea, and then became massive, right?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
we've had opportunities where they separated as being client for whatever reason. Could not because of us, not because of them. Whatever happened, it could be a decision from up top where they changed management, companies got bought out, whatever that may be.
Yep.
We never burned the bridge. Years later, they come and call us, and they're now the CMO of some other company, and
Yeah.
or
Nice.
they started something, or they know somebody, and it's not like we do this to get referrals, right? It's
No.
just, I think, just be good and just do the right thing. The
Yeah.
right thing is the right
Yeah.
thing, and that happens, and
Yeah.
like we've stayed in touch,
Yeah,
and
that's
now
awesome.
we're here, which is awesome. So putting
yeah,
out good to the
yeah,
world.
exactly, right.
Yeah,
So
I think it really works in the real estate game as well too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, a wise man once told me, this guy here, granted, this was talking about like
I'm a
girls
wise man
and
now.
dating, but he
Yeah.
said never delete a number, and that has like come so true. Where and in the real estate thing, where like someone will call me like, "Hey, we talked on the phone 2 years ago, or you came out and did a valuation or whatever. I'm ready to sell now," and you're like, "Holy shit!" Right? Like your phone rings
Yeah.
someday, not expecting it at all, right? And yeah, even I don't know. It's
You're
good
always
to just
planting
have-
seeds. Yeah,
Exactly.
not intentional, but just
Yeah.
that's what happens,
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
And also our city, not that it should be any different, our city's so small.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
One thing I actually, maybe you might know something about this, but one thing I kind of noticed was when I think the like, I always call it like hashtag yag, like I say hashtag, right? Like that it's kind of a thing. It's kind of
Everything's this.
Yeah, exactly.
it's kind of an organism in itself, the whole like yag thing and how it's like its own word and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I find, because when we first started the show and Josh was recording out of Montreal, we tried to find, like, there's like all the various YAG hashtags where
Yeah.
it's kind of worked in different ways.
Yeah.
I tried to find those in Montreal, right? For one, the problem is a lot of hashtags are in French there versus
Right.
English, right? And then I was trying to find even Calgary ones, and like, it just, as far as I can tell from an outsider looking in, or even Vancouver, like, it's just a little bit less of a thing, or maybe it's just like an inadvertent branding thing where like YAG has taken on a organism of its own, right?
I
Yeah.
think Twitter started the YAG, hashtag YAG thing.
Yeah.
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 And that grew to its own. With other cities, I think they have their own.
Isms.
Yeah.
Versus like not using
Like maybe Vancouver, maybe Van City, and maybe
Yeah.
Oh,
Toronto
yeah,
has
yeah,
its
yeah.
own,
Or the
right?
six for Toronto
six,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
versus where, because our airport code makes a word, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Van City's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
there's always going to
to
be someone, and
Yeah.
Edmonton tourism for Explore Edmonton is
Oh,
they made
right.
they
Yeah,
coined
yeah,
it
yeah.
that, and that's the thing too, right?
Yeah.
Do you need more water or anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
Montreal doesn't have like its own like, because they have like MTL, and then it's like they have two airports.
But they also
there.
have two airports.
So it's like YMQ and
Yeah.
then like YML or whatever, and then it's like they just can't get their shit together, right?
Yeah.
What brought
know?
you to Montreal? You were there for a short period of time and came back, or
Yeah, I was there for 4 months, and I was kind of experiencing another city and like seeing if I could live there type of thing.
Yeah.
Wanted to learn some French. I heard good things. It's actually the first time I'd ever been there, so
Oh, wow.
I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you just moved there.
yeah. I went there with a buddy of ours, and he's still out east. He's in Ottawa now.
Ottawa.
But yeah, just I don't know. Maybe
Great
just
food, hey?
oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. If there's one thing that Montreal has,
We
it's
smoke
like,
meat like every day when we're there.
yeah.
That's awesome.
The thing that I noticed is there's so many, and this is good for Edmonton too, that I'm seeing there's a lot more of this too in our city. There's the mom and pop shops, and everything's so good because it's so competitive,
Right.
right? So it's like you could go into, I don't know, there's a Lebanese shop just down the street, amazing food. There was whatever, just the other direction, amazing food. It's like you could go anywhere,
Yeah.
and they have to be competitive, right? So
We
that's
need more of that here.
I'm seeing a little bit more of it, and
I think there is to a degree.
even in
Yeah.
the last like year, I'm seeing a lot more of it. But
But this ties back to the hashtag gig thing of like people kind of embracing those like local
Yeah.
places, and
yeah,
I mean it all even goes to like the social media aspect of it, like wanting like there's the new ice cream place.
Yeah.
in White Elf, yeah,
What the hell is it called?
Made by Marcus.
Yeah.
that is the one.
Calgary one.
Yes,
Calgary
that's
place,
yes,
yeah.
thank you.
But I would just love to see more.
But there's another one in Ritchie. Kind,
there is another
Kind
one.
ice cream, right? Kind and Ritchie.
Is it the one that's like really funky colors? Maybe that's
That one is yellow.
Okay,
That's
Oh,
another
yeah,
local
that
brand.
one.
That's on White Ave as well, further
Yeah.
down. And
Yeah.
then there's
and it's like
Kind.
soft serve though,
Yeah.
is it not? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
And
learning.
it's pretty
things.
wild. There's a few places to go hit up for
I was just gonna say, man, like I would just really love to see more independent coffee chains, like less Starbucks, more independent coffee chains, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's a few good ones in it.
What's your go-to restaurant? We'll ask you both separately. Go-to. Doesn't have to be fancy or not. Just like
Okay, you go first.
it doesn't have to be all time. Could be right now.
Yeah, in Edmonton.
Could be chicken nuggets at McDonald's.
We've been talking a lot about
that
those.
shut down.
McDonald's
No, I don't
does
know.
keep coming
We
up,
keep
right?
talking
So,
about those a lot in this
yeah.
episode.
Gee, that's man.
That's a tough one, eh?
Like, I don't want to say like a chain or anything to
You
try
could
to be cool, but
Doesn't have to be.
oh man, I'm trying to think like a place I went to that I really liked recently. You know, I actually haven't been.
I'll say.
Okay,
Or are you ready?
well, my go-to, just because, like, lock me up, but I enjoy it, is Cactus Club. But a place.
Oh boy!
West End or downtown?
Oh!
I could flip of a coin there, but they both do it for me there. So.
I like this guy for interviews. We gotta
Yeah,
bring him
this is
back.
great.
You're gonna sit right here.
Yeah, right. Switch spots. We and then another place I just went to recently that's new that I really liked. So just to give a random shout out because I can't think of another one. It was Say Uncle. It's
Okay.
like a burger place, but
Oh.
it was really good.
Where's that?
104th in one of the Fox Towers or something. I don't know what was there
I
before.
actually have heard of that one.
Have not?
No.
Yeah, it's a new like it's kind of a burger place, but also like a pub sort of thing.
I just have to look up something. It's research. Keep going.
Yeah.
I used
Say
to be
Uncle.
always. I used to live on 105, so
Yeah.
that was like my hood all the time. 104,
Yeah,
105.
okay,
But
yeah.
now I'm away from there and I don't know what's going on.
What
yeah.
part of the city are you living
Yeah,
in
where
now?
are you?
I'm in Prince Rupert actually.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I mean, you're not. That's still
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
nice
still
and
down-
central,
yeah,
right? So,
Central, yeah.
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 Uh,
If
I had
I was
to
gonna
say-
say Woodshed Burgers on 124 is a new place.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
That one's a good one. Just check out if you like
Interesting.
burgers. Yeah.
If I had to say, like, I really like seafood, so Black Pearl's really good.
Yeah.
I've only been there a couple times, but I did. really
I've
like
enjoyed
that
it
place.
every single
Yeah.
time I've been. And for, like, a landlocked city for seafood,
Yeah.
that's where you
Oh.
have to go.
Sorry. Also, to give a shout out to a family friend, but a good go-to restaurant for like at least my family is Normand's. If you guys
Normand's,
know that place,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know where it is.
I know where it is.
Yeah.
I don't. Have you ever been
Jasper,
there?
I have.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good. It's a little bit of a more traditional classic style, but it's a family friend and it's good every time.
Yeah.
And good go-to and
Been around for a long
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, for
30,
sure.
40 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, like he knows us. He comes up, says hello. Like I really enjoy that place. And like it's a little dated on the inside and stuff, but I
That's
don't know.
part of that
It's
character,
part
right?
of it. Oh, and now I'm on a train of thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got 4 now.
Yeah. All right, we'll catch it
You
at
still
5.
put Cactus up here now, or has the other one?
Cactus
know
is
what?
still number 1 for this guy.
Cactus is like, I would say that's more a go-to lunch spot for me.
Okay.
You know, but
No. Yeah, he's like, you want to go for lunch? And I'm like, where are we going? Cactus.
maybe Joe. Oh fuck.
Keep going. Camera's
no,
dead. He's just
I-
going to replace the battery here.
Pagalac. Have you ever heard of that
Oh!
place?
Which one? Chinatown? Well, there's another one on the south side.
Both of them. It's the same family. Yeah.
Do they taste the same? I don't know which one.
Do they say
I-
it's the same?
Yes.
I've been to the south side one more than the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The gentleman who started that actually used to work with my dad quite a few years ago. So also kind of a family friend, and you know that's just a place we like to go for really good Chinese, Vietnamese food. So
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
If I have to be a really fancy girl, I'll say Range Road too. Range Road
Yeah.
is always
I've
good.
actually never been there.
I recently went there for meetings. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's right around the corner from my office, right? So
Yeah, I guess. So
I really like the like farm to table, we're using local
yeah.
ingredients and all that. I really like that sort of
Yeah.
movement. So
yeah, that's
that was big in Montreal too, was the local stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I think, and this is not record whatever. I think Montreal and those big cities, they have a lot of smaller spaces just because of the history of time, right? Like
Yeah.
been around so long. Maybe we don't have as much of that here. We have more bigger square footage for like these. We don't have these historic buildings that have tiny squares. And I
Yeah.
noticed how these mom and pops set up in these little
Yep.
kind of like
hole in the
strata.
wall.
So it's like, what is it, like a commercial downstairs, apartment upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we don't have as much here. And that's where you find these like small, unique restaurants, right?
That's a
Very true,
that's
yeah.
a really good point.
It could be
actually.
just how old the
Yeah.
city is. Right?
Well, yeah, where they have like 200, 300-year-old buildings.
Yeah.
And then if something's from like the 1950s in Edmonton and they want to tear it down, people are like, know the history.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there, but I mean, there's so many neighborhoods too in Montreal, and there's all like these individual. Like we do kind of have that in Edmonton, but in Montreal it's very more segmented. You have your Little Italy, and you go there, and it's just like, you know, incredible Italian food, and then you have your like whatever and it's, you know.
Did you say your go-to? What's your go-to now?
Yeah, what was yours?
Yeah. Are you done with yours though?
I'm done.
You got more?
Until I, you know what? I'll have to sit on my hands if I think of another one.
I like Range Road. I like Black Pearl. Rostizzato is a good one too.
Right.
And I'll give a shout out to Beaumont actually. Characters out in Beaumont.
Okay.
You ever been?
I haven't been, I heard good things.
I would recommend.
Characters?
Yeah, Characters. It's called.
Isn't it pronounced Chartier or something like that?
I don't know.
What it?
Or maybe it's not Characters. Give me a second here. I might sound like an idiot on the podcast. It's not the first time.
Oh no! Our show was
That might be
ruined.
the one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, Characters is the one downtown, maybe.
That
isn't
is
it?
the one that's downtown.
Yes.
Hold on.
It's Cartier or something like that in Beaumont because I had a friend who worked there.
Okay, it's Cartier. There you go.
There we go. Nice.
Probably
Characters.
isn't, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I was thinking about.
I knew what you were
Characters
talking about,
downtown.
though.
Yeah, Character.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking
I've never
about.
been to that one in Beaumont.
There's only one main street in Beaumont.
Yeah.
It's on the main street.
Yeah.
Whatever restaurant that is, go to it. It's a good
Definitely.
one.
Right now, I'm feeling, honestly, lately a lot, Coliseum Steakhouse on 118.
Okay.
Edmonton Classic, I think they're around 40 years.
Yeah.
Have you guys been?
Coliseum, like over by like Rexall or by?
Yeah, by Rexall.
Really? Okay.
Coliseum Steakhouse and Pizza.
Huh.
Chartier.
Chartier.
Yeah,
That's what
Chartier.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, just your typical like steak and potatoes, good pizza, like that kind of like
Yeah, but some of that's always the
What
best.
what
Yeah.
street is it on?
118 Ave. So it's just like
Any
right,
idea what, or like right
it's pretty
across
close,
from the
very close
so-
to like, you know, we just came back from K-Days, a couple blocks away from, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's an
Really?
Edmonton favorite. They have all the
Is
Oilers
it just like
stuff
a
all over the
classic
place.
one you
Classics.
stumbled upon, or how did you go there as a kid? Or
Went out
something?
there as a kid, some family for a while, and then just more recently, like,
Huh.
been checking it out a lot more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's worth checking it out. And you'd see, like, all kinds of variety of people. It's a classic steakhouse, like Edmonton, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then another
Interesting.
one recently, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I think it's called Boao Thai. It's behind SPK on Jasper. It's a Thai restaurant.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just discovered that one
Ooh.
with family. Went there.
Might have to
It's
go there.
fantastic.
we
Yeah,
actually we
amazing.
haven't. I haven't had Thai food in a while, but we used to get it as a family because my grandpa was a celiac, so he could have Thai food. But yeah, maybe we need a I don't know,
Boys'
what's
night
the-
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thai food. Yeah. Huh,
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a while. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the one restaurant that's in Ellerslie, off like 91st?
What kind of restaurant?
It's like very similar concept to Range Road, like farm to table.
Wood Rack Cafe.
Oh,
Wood
yeah,
Rack?
that. Wood,
no, sorry.
Wood something.
Not Woodwork. I think that's something else.
It was the one I was
Woodwork.
trying
No, that's a different one downtown.
Woodwork.
No, Woodwork is downtown.
No.
The same guys who have that. I think his name is Paul, the chef. He had Woodshed. He's the one who created Woodshed Burgers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where you're.
You know what I'm
It's in the Cold Shed workspace downstairs. Yeah.
Yes. It's gonna really piss
gotta
me
look
off.
that up.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
got,
It's gonna.
I got the
yeah.
computer.
You're gonna
I'm
look it up.
producer,
Okay.
Don't worry.
Because I've been there. That's also a great place
What
too.
is that called? No, not Woodwork.
He's gonna get it for us.
Oh, yeah,
But
I got you.
if you're ever in Ellerslie,
Yeah.
it's like it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Woodwork because that is.
That's the one downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Eric was right.
It's not a cafe either. I wouldn't say because Good Earth is there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a cafe. I would call it a restaurant, and I would call it farm to table or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Google, man, you gotta just look up those random words and see
Yeah.
what happens.
The Workshop Eatery?
That is
That's
the
the
one.
one.
That's the one. There you go. The workshop.
Yeah, workspace.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Workshop. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
gotta
good.
hit that Woodshed too. The same owners. It's good. It's good. Good place.
We're putting this in the show notes.
Yeah.
We're giving all the shout outs.
Oh, yeah, all these backlinks for these guys, so.
Send them this podcast and be like, first sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
restaurants.
want to ask you guys more questions. I know you guys.
By all means, this is good.
I
Go
want
for
to
it,
know
man.
what your take is on real estate in today's market.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Have your 5 minutes of fame here.
So,
Last question I have,
In
sorry.
what way are you asking? I guess?
How's the market? Is it hot? Is it cold?
Mm-hmm.
Is it not moving at all? Is it are you
Yeah.
doing phenomenal all day long, just crushing it?
Is it so? For me, number one, I mean, I always like to answer that question with a question of kind of like, what are you doing? Buying, selling, renting, investing, blah blah blah. But like, end of the day, it's definitely a buyer's market for sure, right? That's no secret. I think most people know that about Edmonton and Alberta as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So it is a pretty good time to buy. Interestingly, this year, so new listings, like, because where we were just getting killed in past years and stuff was like the listing inventory was so damn high, like anytime you were trying to sell and stuff, right? So it's actually currently down about 20% over last year, which is pretty good, right? So that just shows that the market's leveling out a little bit. Prices are flat, if not staying low, kind of thing, which is good for buyers, obviously.
Are we talking everything, or houses, or condos, or?
I'm
Across
speaking
the board.
kind of across the board, right? That should be in theory reassuring to a buyer that, like, in theory we're probably at the bottom. Sellers, like, it sucks, like it's not recovering anytime soon. It's not.
Has the government change or those like pipeline conversations brought confidence to the market at all?
Pipeline and government change, I would say yes, and not to make it political. It's just a
Right.
plain fact, right?
Whatever government it is, because of the
exactly.
change, right?
Yeah.
We're just so driven on that, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Alberta as a whole.
Yeah. For the government rules, when the stress test first came out, like I really didn't like it. I thought it was very misguided, especially to do Canada's a huge country, right? Like in such unique markets and coast to coast, like it's almost silly to make policies for a country that's however many kilometers across, right?
It's different everywhere.
To make a blanket policy, right?
Yeah.
And especially to a market like Edmonton that was struggling before that came in, it just really hammered it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the goal of that was to achieve a soft landing in the Canadian real estate market, which it kind of did. It's not like shit tanked overnight or anything. It was a slow, anyways, slow, comfortable, cushy-ish landing, right? Like it obviously sucked in some smaller markets and stuff, and
Yeah, the plane didn't have like one landing gear, but they still landed it.
yeah, when they have to like land in a river or something in emergency or whatever, right? In all seriousness, right? And that was the goal of the federal government. They effectively raised interest rates without raising them.
Yeah.
And it's very easy on the other side of it to look at it and be like, yeah, they sort of accomplished it, I guess, but it just felt so misguided to base a Vancouver-Toronto policy for the entire country, right?
Yeah.
Where things were hurting. But it was probably good in the long term just for like not allowing the real estate market to artificially grow while the economy around it is shrinking and
we don't want to happen to the
recessing a little
U.S.
bit.
to happen to us, right?
Exactly. So, end of the day in Edmonton, like I would say, buyer's market recovering. It's going to be a long time before we're even in like a balanced market. So it's going to be like still a buyer's market. So sellers, it's still going to be kind of tough, but there's also kind of micro markets within everything, right? Obviously condos have taken a bit of a shit in the lake, right? Single family homes is usually pretty safe. We're definitely like
People
a
take
commuter.
shits in lakes.
This guy, I don't know.
What do you guys do in the lake? And then like something like row houses and duplexes is actually like growing a decent bit, give or take, over the years, just because of the stress test. People can afford less.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to live in an apartment style condo. So
Yeah.
I mean, the problem too is like for me, I have to remember to look at it in the more grander market kind of thing and review the stats and all that stuff, because this whole time, like as a realtor, and in any business, like as you do it more, there's a snowball effect, right? Like it just happens, right? So my business is continuing to grow personally just because I have more past clients, bigger book of business.
So people are still buying.
Oh yeah,
most
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, I would say so. End of the day, you do have to pay to live somewhere, right? So there's no perfect time. And then also, if you're moving within the same real estate market, it's a net zero effect, right?
Exactly.
So if you sell when it's really hot and then immediately buy, like it's a wash. If you sell when it's really low and immediately buy, it's a wash, right? So
Yeah.
Maybe what we need here in Edmonton is kind of like an economic boom where a lot of, looking back, where a lot of people came from out east to work here, and now they need places to live. So
Yeah.
if we have something that drives people here to move here and
One comment
and work, right?
Yeah.
And
One comment I'll make is the construction that they're doing. Like they're building a lot of towers and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're also like building an inventory too.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily the best way of going about.
yeah.
creating excess inventory.
Exactly.
See,
right?
yeah, and then it's cool to see, and like, Ice District has come a long way, and it was something that was always kind of like this pipe dream sort of thing and stuff. But when you think about it, like, it's been like what 5, 6, however many years, and it's like now it's arguably done. Like it's pretty
JW
cool.
opens this week, I think.
Oh yeah, really
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
I
nice.
think I read
So-
that the other day.
So, yeah, I don't know. Edmonton's not really a build it and they will come type city for that sort of thing. But, it's just interesting for me trying to see and get some insight or predict or figure out where the real estate market's going to go, just because millennials are buying so much later in life and at a much lower rate and aren't as, like, keen on home ownership for a lot of lifestyle reasons, like wanting to travel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, how will that take shape as we have Canada's aging population? Those people are looking to retire and downsize, but the next generation isn't buying homes
Yeah.
as much. So that could be interesting.
When I was in
too.
my early 20s, mid-20s, people were like, oh, you should buy your own home, buy your own condo. It's almost like a accomplishment in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now when I talk to a lot of young 20s, and some people on my team in that age category, they have no interest in the thought of buying a house anytime soon or buying a condo didn't even cross their mind.
Right.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the maybe an affordability issue, but I think it's kind of like more the social generational side of it, of
Yeah.
just focusing on different priorities, right? So
Yeah.
and sorry to totally hijack the question, but I can talk about this till the cows come home.
Yeah.
So it's really
No, it's good.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a lot more like investment minded too. So like maybe instead of buying a primary residence, you're looking at buying an investment property or something
I
first.
think we'll see a lot of people doing like either the shared room things, right? Like where you like rent a couple rooms to friends or whatever, or a lot more basement suite kind of things, and then a lot of I foresee like a lot more investing for the sake of Airbnb. Like will that ever be a mass adopted thing? No, probably not. But
Right.
it's kind of a little niche, and there's people doing well
Some
with it.
people have
and-
some good businesses just running on that, right?
yeah, exactly, right? Because
Yeah.
you make some pretty good money in like a weekend, right? Like you rent it out a couple times a month and you make more than your rent would be.
Yeah.
Right? Granted, there are some Airbnb horror stories, but generally speaking, people treat them a bit better than, like, they treat it more like a hotel than like a
Yeah.
rental sort of
Yeah.
thing. So
review system.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Peer review, social proof, social
Yeah.
stigma, right?
They did a good job with that. But
Mhm.
yeah. They don't really care about like as Airbnb as a platform, they don't really care about the landlord or the tenant. They just want to make their cut though. That is the thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of, I don't know. It's an interesting concept for sure. There's a lot of rentals in Toronto that are like straight Airbnb. There's a lot of articles coming out that there was like, of the total rental pool, it was something like 15 or 16% of it Airbnb.
Wow.
So it's like, it is a big
5-0 or
15, 16.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's,
Which is still a high percentage.
it's a very high percentage. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because we're also like the rental generation, and now Edmonton is building more and more like purpose-built rentals.
Yeah.
So
I see that a lot more.
and that makes it hard for a landlord where you just own a condo and try to rent it out. Like when you're competing against a big company who has like 80 units to rent out,
Yeah.
and they can give incentives and free TELUS for a year and all that stuff, right? So
but are they doing more purpose-built rentals because they can't sell them?
I've seen some
Also,
towers come
yes.
up downtown that are
Yeah.
they're built for the rental purpose.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think what they're doing is renting it out, then hopefully selling it all to a
Then they
REIT.
sell
Yeah. They
we
sell the whole
actually just
entity.
talked about this with
Yeah.
another friend of ours, but
Yeah.
the goal often is to sell it off
Yeah.
to like a REIT or whatever,
Yeah.
right? so I guess that's a business in itself, and you're just identifying a need within a market, right?
Edgewater's a good example. The two towers off
The East End, Jasper. I think
Yeah.
85th and
that was a good
Jasper.
example for sure.
Where those
Who's
were
those guys?
those were
Regency or who?
Yes.
That was a developer.
but it was slated to be condos
Yeah.
originally, and then the economy kind of fell off the bus, so they switched
Right.
it to a rental, right? So, and there's a few, not every single one of them is that, but there are a handful of notable projects where it changed halfway through.
I would say pretty much all the big buildings going up recently. Well, the two in Ice District, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about there's Hendrix, there's
McLaren, what is it?
McLaren.
McLaren was supposed to be condos, but
yeah,
I don't think the Hendrix was. I think Hendrix was always the plan. I could be mistaken.
same developer as McLaren and Hendrix. So
Mhm. I don't know. They
I
also
don't know.
bought the land for the McLaren like ages ago because, speaking of Normans, he used to own the Glenora Bistro that was in there.
I went
And-
there once, and then
and-
they shut it down 2
And,
weeks later. or
yeah, and
something.
then he sold it to whatever developer, right? And he's like, "Who the hell's gonna buy all these damn condos?" And then he was right. So,
Right.
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, it looks
That
like they're
building's-
making some nice buildings too.
that
right?
building's
So-
going up fast.
Yeah. So it'd be cool. I mean, it's nice to, as like a young professional or a young person just to have that option of living in something like new, that's nice, that's cool and trendy.
Yeah,
And like it's not
what they have in big
outlandish,
cities now is
right?
coming here, right?
Yeah. Dare I say we're almost a big city,
Yeah.
right? Because like
Almost.
you know,
However-
in like Vancouver and stuff, it's not like those aren't new ideas.
Yeah.
To do that.
Those condos are very Vancouver style, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
What
Where
we
you're
need
look-
here is concierges, right? Like we don't have that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Maybe one
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
I think the Pearl has it,
yeah,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah,
but when I see staying at my
The
buddy's
Mayfair
places,
has
they're,
like
they're,
a concierge. I
they're
wanna
pretty
say, or
awesome to
something.
have someone at the front.
yeah.
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 Your packages get dropped off there.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Pearl's a funny building because there's like nothing else nearly as tall near it, so it's kind of like out of place.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah,
It's interesting to think.
I've been on that roof.
Oh yeah, nice.
How'd you get on the roof? Is there a story behind this?
My dad's he's a.
It's not a super cool story.
Yeah, it's not. He owns a
All right, we
mechanical
don't
firm that they're looking at quoting the building, so
Okay.
went
Yeah.
through all the equipment and
Yeah.
everything.
There's some nice penthouses, sub penthouses in that place.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty
I've seen
wild
some
photos.
for sure.
Yeah.
What about? Do you follow the real estate market much or not? Super hands-on, or?
Yeah, I have. I have interest.
You did sell a condo, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago.
I
Right?
did. I ended up selling a loft actually.
'Kay.
I tried to sell this loft for a while.
What building?
The 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting building. Hey, like there's not a lot of truly loft style condos.
Is a rental office
Yeah.
building,
Yeah.
12-foot ceilings, concrete around.
It's a cool
I had a
building.
corner
It is.
unit. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
1,400 square feet.
Yeah.
I ended up having to reno it, and then it sold. So
Okay.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Like just update some stuff, or
yeah, update like it was a matte black ceilings and like dark floors. And when I bought it, I was like, "This is awesome! I like this place."
Yeah.
But that's not where things are now, right?
Yeah,
So
fair
right,
enough.
right.
I ended up painting the whole place white and made a very New York style white, all white
Oh,
look,
nice.
white kitchen
Nice,
and everything. We redid the whole kitchen to be an awesome, fantastic kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And then it sold. Yeah.
Cool.
But
cool.
I had to put that investment into it till it sold.
Yeah.
Till it sold.
So
Yeah.
you live in a house now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We end up gutting an old house. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But it was nice living downtown for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
And
you-
I saw Edmonton grow from before.
yeah, how long
I
did
want
you
to say
live
I
there?
watched Epcot Tower come up, so that's quite a bit ago.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
Actually, I forget that tower is moderately
Yeah.
new in the grand scheme of
It
things.
is,
too,
yeah.
so-
It's a nice tower. I was there for an event not too long ago. It's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah, they do some stuff.
2011?
You tell me, man.
Ask this
Maybe,
guy.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think,
Yeah.
like, you know how, like, well, Manulife's obviously an older building, but, like, that used to be the highest one.
Yeah.
And now when you see, like, I remember specifically looking at the skyline and, like, seeing, like, Manulife being so tall and finding it to, coming back to this dirty word, a little inspiring just to look at, like,
Yeah.
skylines. I don't know. I kind of do. And
Yeah.
now when you look at Stantec or whatever, you're like,
Yeah.
Manulife, right? Like,
I love downtown. It was
Yeah.
growing, and the market was there, and it was like turn of like the things that were happening downtown. Now it's just so. Well, now it's a disaster zone with all the construction, right? But
Yeah.
it will be better, right? And
Yeah.
it's getting better.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool
Yeah.
to think we were actually. I was having this discussion with someone because we were talking about the Legacy, which is on 105th across
Yeah,
from.
I have a friend that lives in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
an older building. I want to say '07. And if you think about it, like, because it's a tall building, but it's not like as grandiose as much as
Yeah.
the new ones. But at one point, that was like the tallest thing around there for several years, right? So it's kind of crazy to think that was like a fixture of
Yeah.
the downtown skyline at one point.
We
and
were
now it's
going to
come
be
so
the
far.
downtown boys
Oh yeah,
as the team.
That
we
was
wanted,
our-
we wanted to focus most of our efforts on
Downtown?
downtown. Yeah,
When we
doing
were
the
still
condo
as a
game.
team,
and-
yeah.
Luckily you didn't.
You know, but I mean, it's cool. It's a niche.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of space for more than a handful of agents
Yeah.
in it in Edmonton, but
Yeah.
it's a tough market.
Yeah.
Or it ebbs and flows a lot more than other things, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
What I like, we talk about Edmonton being small, big town, right? What I liked about it is that it's growing,
Yeah.
and it's small enough for, I think, and it's not that we can't in other places. We're able to like make a change and a difference to create an impact in the growth of the city,
Yeah.
right?
wow, that was very
You can,
insightful.
you can contribute however way, but yeah, you know, like I'm not saying you can't do that in New York City, right?
No,
but
yeah,
we're like
are you gonna
small
be-
enough to like you
Yeah.
know
It's-
be that part of the
Are you
town.
going to be Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Probably not in New York, but I mean, you could probably build a building here.
Yeah, I guess. Hey, right.
You know,
So, yeah.
so
You can make things happen here and change the landscape of Edmonton for years to come.
Yeah.
That's why I like it here. I was born and raised here, right?
I was actually going to
I-
ask you about that because you said your parents came over,
Yeah.
so you were born here.
So I was born here.
Yeah.
My parents came over. I was born here, the General downtown, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and when I was like, I want to say 4 or 5, my parents were actually working in Papua New Guinea at that time.
Okay.
So we're an Indonesian family.
Yeah.
They got
Oh, okay.
shipped to China.
Yeah.
And they ended up making their way to Hong Kong, and then they ended up buying a business in Papua New Guinea, which is a growing economy at the time.
Yep.
Not the safest place for a child, which is still not a great place for a child.
Yeah.
But I spent a couple of years with them, that 4, 5, 6, you know, and then I came back here. I did my kindergarten grade 1 there. Then I came back here for grade 2 and onwards.
Nice.
And my parents eventually joined. I was with my grandparents. They came back and
Gotcha.
joined here. So yeah,
Nice.
Oh, okay.
born and raised.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Have you done much traveling in Southeast Asia? Or?
I have ish. When we go to Indonesia, we go to Bali for a stop usually.
Okay.
My family's from.
That's the big one these days
Yeah.
is Bali.
Yeah.
It is. We've gone since I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
So I've been around Indonesia quite a bit. There's
Yeah.
a few islands there.
Yeah.
But
Do you speak any of the languages?
speak a little bit Indonesian, like in the household I get along, you know,
Yeah.
get by in the household. If I was to be dropped there, like I can get by for sure. I can get
Yeah.
by if I was dropped in Jakarta and I need to get around, I could get around.
Okay.
But yeah, like
Interesting.
because I lived in Papua New Guinea, we went to Australia for vacations, went to Indonesia lots,
Oh, really?
and
Cool.
Singapore lots, and just because everything's so close
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah,
It was-
yeah. It's a really cool
nice
part of the
part.
world for sure. I'd
Yeah.
love to see it. I
The
know.
hard part of Edmonton is it takes so long for us to get anywhere, right?
Yeah, it is. We're pretty spread out. for
That was the
sure.
one thing I liked about Montreal is that it's a hub.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
or you have JFK 45 minutes from it.
Yeah.
Or Toronto.
See, that's
right?
the cool part. Is the densely populated areas.
Yeah.
It's an hour flight to get to like
anywhere.
another cool big city.
You can go to New York
Yeah.
for the weekend and come back,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the cool part about it for sure.
You know, the Bali thing, because more people from here are going there.
Yeah.
But I have some Australian friends, like, that has always been, like, their Mexico.
Yeah, that's their
so,
place.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
But you know why a lot of people are more going? It's Instagram. It's all this travel bloggers.
Conversation comes
and-
full
Instagram.
circle.
Yeah,
Full
but that's
circle.
what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
all these travel channels that play,
travel-
like, tropical house music and show chicks diving into the pool and stuff.
waterfalls
Yeah,
and
yeah.
infinity pools. And,
You
and
could
people are
rent
like, I
this
wanna get
mansion
there.
for $900
Yeah.
a night.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a beautiful place.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Food's amazing, beautiful place. I like going there. Yeah.
It's funny.
that's cool.
It's funny you mentioned Singapore because supposedly the next Singapore is. Do you remember like taking in social studies talking about like Rwanda?
Yes.
Rwanda is supposedly slated to be the next
Interesting.
Singapore.
Like for like a finance tech
From
tax
like,
haven
you
hub.
know, well, you know how like Singapore came up in like 10 years type of thing. Like
Yeah.
it just exploded.
Yeah.
Rwanda.
Wow.
Wow.
Intriguing. I'd be curious to read more
Yeah,
about
I was reading something about that, and their president like is taking the model of Singapore and
Yeah.
just dropping it there.
Huh.
It's kind of central in Africa too.
Singapore's
so-
been doing well with a long time ago because it was a hub,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
an ocean hub where people could
Yeah.
come in and out of from all over the place.
Is Singapore attached to Indonesia? And some-
Singapore's attached to Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yeah.
sorry.
Malaysia.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Ignorant
And it's a
There's
white guy
country,
here, but,
a city, and a province
And
unto
yeah,
itself.
yeah.
Four official languages in Singapore.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
right,
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
English.
I like
It's a really interesting place.
English, Malay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah.
I want to say one of Mandarin. I think it is,
Okay.
and I want to say Hindi or another.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, but isn't
Tamil. What's
Singapore
it? I can't remember something like
kind
that.
of weird because it's attached to Malaysia, but aren't a lot of the people ethnically Chinese or something?
It's
like
a mixed bag.
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
pretty
really
cool.
interesting
But
place. Yeah.
but English is like the first language, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I'm there, you feel like you're in a North American city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just you can't
first,
chew gum.
First world, but you can't chew gum. But
Really? Why?
and everything is clean, and you can trust everything because it's like
Why can't you chew gum?
that's against the law.
Yeah.
Is it like a disease thing?
No, because they don't want people dropping.
They want
it.
people to spit
Oh,
gum.
okay.
They don't want
Their city is clean, like
Yeah.
super clean.
That's
really
what I heard. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
Having lived in Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
Like so, because it's similar where it's like a city state, yada
Right.
yada yada. But there's it's not like Chinese is still the primary language, correct? Right?
yeah. I haven't lived in Hong Kong, but been there quite a
Or
bit.
been there? Sorry.
So yeah, so I think Cantonese is their primary language.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But since China's growth,
Yeah.
Mandarin became like the primary like strength.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my parents, when they lived in Hong Kong, they said because they came from, they're Indonesians that went to mainland China that went to Hong Kong, so they're already like people are like looked down upon them
Okay,
completely,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But like that when you speak Mandarin there, they look down upon you. But
Oh, okay,
now
yeah.
it's the reversal,
That's the
right?
reversal.
It's the
It's
reversal.
just
Yeah.
going, Yeah.
I mean, right now, whatever's happening there, it may not be the case, but yeah, in
Yeah.
general,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's interesting to know that Singapore is like such high English fluency, right?
Yeah.
So, but
It's a cool city.
Yeah.
Definitely
It
on
looks
my
really
list.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the only night race. Do you watch F1, Formula One, or anything?
I was there when they were wrapping that one up. I think
Oh,
it was
okay.
pretty cool. Had some cool photos. Yeah,
They only do the only night race.
right.
So it's the only race
Like
at
that.
night.
They got night safari there. Maybe they like things at night. I don't know, but
man.
it's
Well, I mean that's it's like a city that doesn't sleep, right?
Yeah.
All the lights and all that.
it's
So
super modern city just in the middle. I like it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've heard really.
They got
good
the
things.
nice infinity pool at the Marina Bay Sands. Have you seen
the
that?
three
blue
things.
ship, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard good things, so that's pretty
You
much
gotta go.
I was gonna say that's my
That's
that's
the
my criteria for going somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
we're probably almost at 2 hours.
Yeah,
eh?
we're
at hour 45.
Should we wrap this guy up
should we
or
wrap
like
it up,
yeah,
or-
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Let's
yeah, I
do
think
it.
so. That's good. Well,
Where can we find you?
yeah.
On
Eric,
all
all
the
the typical-
socials and all
yeah, where
the
can
typical question.
people?
yeah.
Find me on Instagram. Search Eric Cheng or E_Cheng.
Okay.
12 Creative Co on Instagram.
Yep.
It's our company, and 12 Creative on YouTube.
Go get them to do some branding for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. It's
Oh,
super
not a
fun.
problem.
It was a
This is
really
excellent.
conversational style, and we dove
Hopefully
into
you
all kinds
liked
of.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's different for sure. I
Yeah,
like
We're
it.
going for
It's
it,
cool.
so.
You know
Less
what?
pressure and stress. That's
Oh,
for sure.
definitely. I think so.
The first guy
which is good.
I was gonna say the first guy we had on the podcast, he was actually so nervous. He's like, "What are they gonna ask
Yeah.
me?"
Yeah.
We're
Well,
like,
then
"No,
also,
man." We're
so like Josh would like invite someone on, and they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, sure. Do I need to prepare anything?" And he just like wouldn't really answer them.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind
They
of like
get
to give this spiel, like, "Hey, like it's conversation. Like you don't really need to bring talking points. We'll just kind of flow about
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll gravitate to like your field naturally, right? Because
Yeah.
we want to know about you, right? But
yeah,
if you want to come talk about a cheese sandwich, like do that.
spaceships, whatever,
Yeah,
man.
spaceships.
100%.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
Yeah,
I like how we had interview questions for us.
That
too,
was
so.
good. That's, that's
Future guest.
yeah.
Take note. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take care.
Awesome.
Thanks.
See ya.